All right. Square Enix. Hang on, let's make this bigger. Actually, you know what? Just 1 second. We do one thing real quick. I don't want to accidentally dox myself, so I'm just going to do that. And we're going to use this. Boop. Oh my god, that's good. Oh, well, video gamer. You thought you could get away with having no dark mode. Well, get fucked. Because I use Dark Reader, which is an add-on you should all get. Dark Reader. And it forces dark mode onto any website. Absolutely amazing. So, let's have a look at some of the gaming news, guys. Video gamers. Square Enix acknowledges Expedition 33's success as inspiration for next Final Fantasy, as turn-based is still beloved by gamers. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All it took was being proven wrong. I mean, well, you know. So, how is dark mode not a standard? Yeah, if you design a website or if you design an app, if you don't have a default dark mode, your app sucks. There you go. Fuck it. I said it. I don't care. All right. Only having white mode, it's like staring into a fucking light bulb. All right. It sucks, man. It's horrible. It's awful. This is so much better. And even if you prefer light mode, just, I don't know, accessibility options, you know, have some empathy for the rest of us. Anyway, enough fucking about. Let's read this. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is an absolute marvel in that it has shook the gaming industry. No one expected it to be so good, but it's already the leading contender for Game of the Year, with its impact regarded as an example proving AAA publishers wrong. Its success... Oh, sorry, I don't know why I'm reading like David Attenborough. Its success is impossible to ignore, and even Square Enix has acknowledged Clair Obscur as an inspiration for the future of Final Fantasy. Yeah, alright. I'll believe it when I see it, but sure. No one expected it to be good. Here's the thing. There was nothing in the trailers that made me think it wasn't going to be good. But because we hadn't seen a game like this since Final Fantasy X, or Lost Odyssey, which almost no one knew about because it was imprisoned on the Xbox 360 for... Well, I mean, until now, I mean, it still is. It still is. You know, you still have to buy an Xbox to play that game. You can't even do it on PC or PS5, which is ridiculous. We just didn't know. We didn't know if it could still be done. Peanut! Thank you very much for the 45-month-a-roo! Swage, what are they talking about? Well, that's the thing. You know, I would say... It's not that I didn't expect it to be good. It's that I was scared to let myself believe. Because I'd already given up. I knew that Square was never, ever going to make a classic formula or evolved on the classic formula Final Fantasy ever again. You know, and it was just like, it was one of those things where you see this trailer and it's like, no, don't give me hope. I can't, I've already moved on. I can't do this again. That was, I think, the feeling a lot of people got from the trailer. And that's why I reserve myself to say that if it's mid, or if E33 turns out to be a mixed bag, I'm still okay with that, because at least the devs are trying. Because we all know that Square won't, that they never will. Now, E33 was so momentous and so impactful to the conversation around Final Fantasy that now Square might. Will they succeed? Probably not, but, you know, at least they're gonna try. But, I don't know, man. Anyway, not fucking about it. I'm gonna read some charts. Can you believe Square Enix's story writing can get better? No. Because their best writers are Ishikawa and Yoko Taro. And, did Yoko Taro write the actual dialogue for Automata, or is he more like the overall grand scenario story guy? I'm not sure. Can anyone clarify that? Mon, thank you for the 100 bits-a-roo. The OST. Nobody expected that. Got it. So, Atlas. Yeah, no, yeah, Underwater. The thing is, though, Sandfall writes dialogue more efficiently than Atlas. So, can't get worse, Friendly. It can always get... Friendly, if Square has taught us anything, it can always get worse. So Yeah, I don't know. I'd say Square's only good writers right now would be Ishikawa and Yoko Taro. Problem is that like Ishikawa, from what I've seen, has only written in the format of FF14, and its format is bloated as hell. That's not her fault. That is 14's fault. And I would like to see her writing with... I don't know if full creative control is the right word for it, or if she were writing for a different game where its fan base are not going to make excuses for its bloated writing and appalling pacing like FF14. So, Matt Storff, hey, appreciate that so much. Obrigado. Welcome in. And Astrova, thank you for the 6-month-aroo. So, Yoko Taro is brilliant. I thought Nier Automata was amazing, and I don't know if he'd even want to write a Final Fantasy. If he did, it would be absolutely insane. But I don't know his feelings on that. So they need to find... I don't know, man. I don't know. You want a more grounded story, not Shakespearean play? Well, the thing is, though, FF9 and Tactics show that they can do a Shakespearean play if it's written well. 9 has a lot of Shakespearean influences in it, you know, whether it's just the Romeo and Juliet stuff from the I Want to Be Your Canary play that they put on, to the 12th Night stuff they do, which is, you know, the whole mistaken identity, the letter that Aiko writes for Zidane gets picked up by Steiner and Beatrix and it helps them fall in love. Like, that's 12th Night, you know. They can do this. Or FF Tactics, which feels almost like proto Game of Thrones-ish. They've lost that ability to write stories efficiently. They don't know how to do it anymore. And I think that it doesn't help that the modern FF fan base, the 14 fan base, who is also the 16 fan base, and I'd say the Rebirth fan base, they will endlessly make excuses for this poor writing. They'll say, guess you don't like to read. It's like, no. I like reading, but I don't like having my time wasted. I like reading, I don't like having my time disrespected. There's different things, all right? You would not make these same excuses for other games. You're only making these excuses because it's Final Fantasy. It's just true. So, Evan Hart, welcome in! Guys, also chuck a follow to the lovely Evan Hart over here. Let me give you a wee shout. Actually, mods! Can we shout out Evan, please? So, if ever Remaster sells, they'll let Matsuno write more. Oh, yeah, that's true. He did write that. FF16 disappointed you because of Sid. Yeah, I mean, anyone who says that, like, Sid had to die because it was necessary for Clive's development. No, all it did was develop the game into a more boring game. It developed the story into a less interesting story. If you're a writer, just rewrite the story so that Sid survives until the very end, okay? Anyone says that he had to die and there was no other way around it, no, you don't understand anything about creativity on any fundamental level. You don't even know what a writer can do. A writer can do fucking anything, man. A writer can make Sid put on a dress, dance the hokey pokey, and turn around, alright? That's what the writer can do. Stupid to say it can only be this one way because that's how it was. Like, get the fuck out of here. Learn how creativity works. Also, Blue Barak, thank you for gifting a Subaru to Evan. I appreciate that. So, yeah, no, Sid should have been alive till the very end of 16, and he should have died like a boss in the final scene or something. That would have been so much better. In fact, you keep Sid alive for all of 16, it actually solves a lot of his problems. It solves a lot of the game's problems because its main crime is being boring, and it's less boring with Sid. All right, Metsdorf, thank you for that Subaru. I appreciate that. All right, give Go Blue. I will. All right, enough fucking about. Let's do this. Showing up and immediately getting spoiled, Cranky. I'm sorry. But you know what? If you wanted to know, you would have played it by now. That's my answer, okay? FF16 is not 1 month old anymore. It's been out for, what, since 2023? If you cared, you would have played it. There you go. So, FF16 Rebirth. Oh, God. Peanut. All right, enough fucking debate. Let's read this. Square Enix highlights Clair Obscur Expedition 33 as an oh yeah, we've already read that. On X, a username Use was part of a recent Square Enix shareholder meeting as an investor. Their original post on social media is entirely in Japanese, and there might be some inaccuracies, automatic translation, but they discussed wanting turn-based. They wanted Final Fantasy to be turn-based again. The investor said, I had the opportunity to speak, so I expressed the opinion that I would like new releases of Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy to alternate. Additionally, I expressed the desire for a new Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy titles to be command-based RPGs, explaining this by referencing the shift in direction from 16 and the success of Clair Obscur E33 with the gained attention in 2025. Yeah. I don't even think alternating, man. I don't even think alternating, man. Here's the thing. If you just made a new IP and you called it by a different name and that had the ARPG stuff in it, give that to the modern FF fans. After all, they pull this same line all the time that, oh, you don't like the new direction of Final Fantasy? Well, there's all these other turn-based games that you can play, like Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest. Go play those. Yeah, well, you know what? I feel like they wouldn't be singing the same tune if the foot were on the other shoe, okay? Or if the shoe were on the other foot. If Final Fantasy went back to turn-based and they just made another thing that was ARPG, we could then say, oh, there you go. You want ARPG? Just play those other titles. Just do that. That's basically Final Fantasy, even though it's got none of the same things in it. Also, Cyborg Parrot, thank you so much for that follow. And Guardian of Twilight, thank you very much for that. Subaru. Yeah. Yes, Peanut. Yes. The anime pixel low poly 3D turn-based games that don't hit the same way as Final Fantasy. Yes. Why? Yes. How could anyone possibly look at E33 and see it as any different to Bravely Default? It's the same picture. Yeah. So they tried the shooter thing with the Vincent spin-off. That was a very bizarre idea. Yeah. Crass, do I think any game, especially FF, that uses E33 as a template for their new game will be copycat slop? Yeah, well, here's the thing. E33's combat, I think, is so iconic and so finely tuned that anything that tries to model itself after it will suffer the same problem that Souls-likes suffer, which is that either it's a carbon copy, and people are like, oh, this is just a rip-off, or it tweaks it all slightly so it feels different and feels like its own thing, but the problem is it's just going to play worse because E33 and Dark Souls is so finely tuned that any deviation from that is just going to feel wrong, you know. With all due respect to games like, say, Lords of the Fallen, I played 2 for a bit, and I was like, this feels different, it feels like its own thing, and it feels wrong. Like, you know what I mean? So, they're in a tough spot, anyone who tries to do this. But hopefully they can learn from the successful Souls-likes like Lies of P and learn how, which I haven't played, but everyone says is the best Souls-like out there, and learn how to have it sort of scratch that itch and feel right, but also be its own thing, you know. Or maybe Sekiro, I don't know, because Sekiro seems to be another one that you can tell it's made by the Souls people, but it also doesn't play like Dark Souls 3 or 1 or Elden Ring or Bloodborne. Prosper, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And you know what? I will even make that into a short. Call it Problem Copycat E33 Combat. Why not? Because it is something I've been thinking about. How would they do that? Nioh felt awesome. Yeah, I haven't played those, but yeah, people seem to like those. Also, Faith, I appreciate that. Without Souls. Yeah, exactly, Dremmy. That's what I was getting at there. Lords of the Fallen, they overhauled it. Yeah, no, and look, I got no disrespect for Lords of the Fallen, right? They, like, they even sponsored me to play the first one for like 4 hours, I think. And, yeah, I got no issues with it, man. So, all right, let's keep going with this. Oh, wait, here we are. FF16 was a lot more action-oriented than previous Final Fantasy installments, with its combat compared to action games like Devil May Cry. Unfortunately, Square Enix stated that sales for 16 did not meet their expectations, and among many fans, reactions were divisive due to the extreme change in gameplay. Yeah, well, the problem with Devil May Cry 16's combat is that it feels insulting if you're an OG fan. It doesn't feel terrible in a vacuum, but it feels like the devs are basically saying, you, the OG fans, you're not good enough. We want a different audience. But we also want you, the OG fans, to buy this game, so we're going to call it Final Fantasy. That's why it feels worse than it actually is. You know, that larger context changes everything. As for how it's sold, yeah, I mean, the only numbers I've seen are it sold 3.5 million total. That's not great. And I looked at VG Insights, which covers like Steam statistics. It sold 700,000 on Steam. That's really bad. That's not good. You know, considering this is supposed to be some AAA blockbuster Game of the Year nominee. That's not great. Mellow Froggery! Thank you for the Subaru! And welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. The budget was really high. How high was its budget? Because I get mixed answers, but I think it was like at least 60 million. Which is a lot. You know. Yeah. Fuck. I will say though, the best thing to come out of FF16 was Ben Starr. And Clive deserved a better game. Which he sort of got with Tekken 8. But yeah, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, not quite the game he should have gotten, but it's still better than 16. Sort of, marginally, maybe. Tekken 8 sucks as well. What a shame. What a shame. Alright. Anyway, let's keep getting back to business. The abusive yapping? Oh, bro, it's ZST. Yeah, I mean, this is your second FF? Yeah, 16's dialogue and pacing is bloated beyond compare. It's not even funny. Lady P, welcome in. So, your husband got you into FF, 14 was your first official dedication, and 16 because you're a Devil May Cry fan. Yeah, exactly. And anyone who wants to understand... Sorry. If anyone wants to understand why FF16's combat would be so annoying to an OG fan, just imagine if Devil May Cry 6 came out and it was turn-based. I'd think it's fun, but something tells me, it's just a hunch, that the OG fanbase would be outraged. And rightfully so. They'd be totally justified in feeling that way. So, that's the context. Anyway. Not fucking about. And you know what? I should make that a short as well, because that would be hilarious. Kupo. Alright. Let's keep going. That would be pretty cool, not gonna lie. I would think it's fucking sick. But I know that the OG fanbase would be pissed, man, and they'd be justified in that. So, it does, 16 has its peak moments. It's good when it's good, and it's bad when it's bad. But it's bad a lot more than it's good. So, a wrestler that had an entrance to the FF song. I didn't know that. So, God of War, the thing is, God of War's change from, say, God of War 1, 2, and 3 to 4, that is a much smaller change than the, than what Final Fantasy has done to, like, from turn-based to ARPG. Like, if God of War was turn-based, fucking hell, I'd be like, that's a change. I'd think it was cool, but I know the fan base would fucking hate it. I know that they would. So, Final Fantasy doesn't have an identity in general. It used to, but not anymore. Parasite Eve 1 and 2. I heard PE2 was very unpopular, though. Yeah, FromSoft fans would burn down the world if the next Elden Ring was turn-based. Exactly. So, alright, enough fucking about. Let's keep doing this. Yeah, fixed cinematic camera to over-the-shoulder camera action tutorials. To me, that's not as different as, say, like, yeah, turn-based to action. Anyway, let's do this. You said that Square Enix's response was that the next 3 years of the medium-term plan will focus on delivering truly interesting games to users. with many titles, including mid-tier ones. Okay, I mean, that should be a base... that should be a basic requirement or a base foundation of any game. It should be truly interesting. Otherwise, why the hell would I play it? That's whatever. Regarding the desire for Final Fantasy to return to traditional turn-based combat, Square Enix said, quote, "They are aware of E33 and consider command-based RPGs to be Square Enix's origin and foundation. For Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, Square Enix insisted, quote, they value the command-based RPG genre and plan to continue delivering games in this style in the future. For fans disappointed by 16, this is fantastic news, as it means Square Enix intends to return the series to the command-based formula it made popular." Actually, it doesn't, with all due respect. We value turn-based RPGs and continue to deliver and plan to continue delivering games like this style in the future. This is a politician answer. That's just like, yes, that's like in government where they just say, I would like to thank the honorable speaker for his question, and then go on. Continue delivering games in this style in the future? Yeah, they already do. They already do. As in, they already make everything turn-based except Final Fantasy. They make Bravely Default turn-based, Octopath Traveler turn-based, Dragon Quest turn-based, your mum turn-based, but never Final Fantasy. And I don't think this really means anything, to be perfectly honest. I think that's just a politician answer. And it's sad because anyone who says, oh, how do I say this? Anyone who says, oh, you don't like Final Fantasy's ARPG direction? Well, if you, how do I even say? I need some water. Fuck, my throat's all dry. Arguing on Twitter is turn-based? Oh, it is. You'll believe FF17 is turn-based RPG when you play it? Yeah, exactly, mate. I don't think this really holds any water. I'll believe it when I see it. No, I don't really see anything there. The next mainline FF installment will be the conclusion to FF7 Remake trilogy. Possibly 2027. Oh, I think it's going to be 2028. And I'll tell you why. Because, I don't know. The whole thing's been in 4 years. Teaser trailer in 2016. FF7 Remake 4 years later, 2020. FF7 Rebirth 4 years later, 2024. I don't really see... Then again, I guess you could say 1 year of that could be building the open world. Part 3, I assume, is going to have the same open world. Vincent and Sid are going to be playable. I worry, though, that they might have to rewrite a few things, because the reception of Rebirth was really bad. You know, that Aerith death scene... that turned off a lot of people, mate. Giving Red 13 a Mickey Mouse voice, making him sound like Morty, turned off a lot of people. Did you know? Apparently there's a PC mod to fix Red 13's voice. That kind of tells you what people think of this decision, all right? And before anyone says, oh, you don't understand, he's meant to be a teen for his species. Yes, I know that. Everyone knows that. There's ways of showing, look, you can show someone's immature side without this whole fake voice bullshit, okay? Without making them sound like Morty, okay? This is such a stupid gaslight, okay? There's always more than one creative solution to any problem. If you don't know that, you don't know shit about creativity, okay? You can show his immature side through body language, through speech, through his emotional regulation, through how good control he has over his emotions. You know, this is just such a stupid argument, and it's a lie. There are people trying to say that, like, oh, if you don't like his new voice, you don't know this important plot point about his character. No, everyone fucking knows this, you fucking liars. Jesus. The reason modern FF and its fan base is a no-go zone is because of people like that. You know, defend it honestly, man. The only defense for Red 13's voice is that you don't mind it. That's it. It doesn't bother you. That's the only defense of it. Anyway, enough fucking a bit. Good timing of the music? I know. Isn't it poetically ironic? where was I going with this? Yeah, where I was going with this is that a lot of people don't like the story changes for Rebirth. And a lot of people don't like the filler and the bloat. So I don't know what they're going to do for part 3. Probably, if they have that many mini-games, they need to not be mandatory. That Cat Sith box throwing segment was absolutely ridiculous. That was fucked. That was so bad. That was appalling. Oh, and the last thing I'll say about the Red 13 thing. There's another thing some people are saying, which is that there's another thing some people are saying, which is that this was Square's intention from the start. The fake voice red thing that was always there in the original Japanese translation. It just never made it into the English one or whatever, you know. And if they had voice acting, they could have done it. Well, there's 2 counter arguments to this, or 2 points on that. One is that if that voice was there from the start, why is it not in his voice acting for Advent Children? That takes place 2 years after the events. And yes, it's only one line, but that line isn't, oh, hey guys, it's me, Red. No, it's not. Second of all, if that was their intention from the start, then we are lucky that the original FF7 didn't have voice acting. Because having Red be like, this is my voice, but here's my real voice. That is a stupid idea, and we're lucky that it took until 2024 for us to see just how stupid that idea is. That voice is embarrassing, it's cringe, and there's a reason that there is a PC mod to fix it. There, the end. Oh my god. Anyway, enough fucking debate. I get the feeling that the TikTok community is going to love that short! So, enough fucking debate. Let's get down to business. That was Shaggy. Oh my god. The George Lucas argument. Imagine Usopp voice coming from Red. Yeah, good thing they didn't do that. Oh, wait, they did. And it's funny because another comment I hear is that, oh, this is why you play in Japanese VA. And it's like, no. In Japanese, they hired Usopp from One Piece to do Red. It's the same VA. Not a bad character, not a bad VA, but Usopp is not Red 13. Same character voice he uses for him. And just to really hit it on the nose, they gave Red 13 a pirate treasure side quest. It just makes me think... It just makes me think, what was the executive decision behind this? It was like, you know, the kids, they like the One Piece, you know, put the One Piece guy in FF7, you know, make him Red 13. Give him some pirate treasure, I'm walking here. That's what I imagine the process was behind that decision. It's insane. It's ridiculous. You want to see Lulu in 4K? You're damn straight. Fucking love Lulu, mate. I fucking love her. All right, I'm walking here. Sorry, we gotta continue with that. Assassin's Creed. It's crazy, Jack. Yes, I didn't play Assassin's Creed, but everyone who did said the whole Ubisoft Tower thing was not great. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad cop-out death. Exactly. It's crazy to me that Vincent is the oldest out of them all. He's like 59 or something. But, you know, experiments. All right, let's continue with this, boys and girls. Yeah, as for the sales of Rebirth, as for the sales of Part 3 of Remake, I don't know. Because one thing that might bump it up is people buying it in a bundle. People being like, all right, you know, I was waiting for all 3 to come out. That's when I'm going to buy it all. But there's... Let me put it this way. You can't stay safe from spoilers for 8 years straight, all right? Something's going to come out. You're gonna hear about Red's voice. You're gonna hear about Aerys's butchery of a death scene. It's just, you're gonna know. You're gonna know that it's not what you thought it was gonna be, and it's not even good in this different direction. So I don't know if that's going to help. But yeah, there will be some people who buy all 3 at once. But there's also people who... Look, Remake sold 7 million copies. Rebirth, the only numbers we have... 2 million on PS5, followed by a 91% drop-off. 1.3 million on Steam, according to VG Insights. That's all we have. That's all the numbers we got. 3.3 mil. That's less than half, and that's not great. Something tells me, and the people who finished Rebirth are like, well, fuck this shit. Screw this. I'm out. This is ridiculous. I didn't want this. This is a butchery. So they've lost more players after Rebirth. I don't know how much Part 3 is gonna sell. I don't know. Like, for some reason, the number that comes into my head when I think the sales of Part 3 is 1 mil. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see how that comment ages. But that's the number my instinct tells me. And I get the feeling it's gonna be a bomb. I don't know, man. I don't know. So, if I was Square, I don't know how I'd fix this. It's such an unfixable set of problems they've created for themselves with that. Chode Bandit, thank you for the sub, and thank you for saying, I'm not buying it, no way. In fact, I think a lot of you guys, the way you're going to experience Part 3 is by watching me stream it and suffer in real time for about 50 hours straight. Because, you know what? If I was a consumer, I wouldn't buy it. But for your sick amusement, you know, because Amaranth said, you know, that streaming is getting bullied by chat for a living, I will give... Who am I to deny the people what they want? Because I know that you sick little masochists, you psychopaths out there, you sadists, you want to see me suffer. You thrive on streamers' tears, and that's all you want. So, SMers, thank you. Sorry, yeah, SMers, thank you for the follow. So, you'll buy so many subs for that stream. You don't have to, but I appreciate it. Look, you would love to be here for my suffering. Oh my god, because it would just be a shit show. But at the same time, I will be fair on it. As I say, there's things that Remake and Rebirth did that I thought were decent. It's just that the bad outweighs the good so massively for me that it's not even funny. Play it for you so you can tire to laugh at me, Jules J. Alright, you'll do it. What's up, Stanced? How are you? You'll be here for that old G-Fast? Oh my god. Yeah, exactly, friendly. So I don't know. It depends. The players it's lost along the way, will they be outweighed by the people who just want to get the full 3-game package? I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, but I don't have a good feeling about it. That's all I gotta say. So, you know what? Maybe I'll make a short talking about my... Here we go. Part 3 sales thoughts. How about that? That could be interesting. Alright. Let's continue. Let's go back to business. Oh, here we are. Remake trilogy. After that, here's hoping the mainline FF games do return to its more traditional turn-based roots, as both Persona and Clair Obscur show that turn-based gameplay can still cater to the masses and leave room for innovation. Yeah, and you know, it's ironic because the reason Square stepped away, or what it seems like they stepped away from turn-based was to sell more copies, you know, to sell more games. Well, how come FF16 and Rebirth both underperformed so badly, and Persona 5 sold 9 million copies? Now, in their defense, Persona 5, I think, sold 1.5 million on launch back in 2016, and then over time has grown to 9 million. But there's a difference. Persona 5, from all accounts, from what I've seen, seems like it is a timeless classic. It seems like it's one of the must-plays. When it comes to these sort of anime turn-based games, JRPGs, it seems to be one of the biggest / most played ones. Like, if you're gonna play one, people are like, oh, either do Persona 5 or Metaphor. FF16, on the other hand, is not a timeless classic. It's not a must-play, and it only becomes more relevant as time goes on. It only fades to time, which is the sad truth for a lot of modern FFs, is they just basically, the anticipation is great. Is it going to be good? I mean, it looks expensive enough to be. Bang, here's the launch, flashy graphics, you know, we fall for it every time, you know, like, the flashy graphics get our attention like jangling keys over a dog, you know, like, oh my god, the flashy graphics! And then we realize that it's all flash and no substance. And it's usually poorly written, unsatisfying, bloated, horribly paced, and a big bag of disappointment and broken dreams. So, and then after that first month of launch, it completely fades into obscurity and no one gives a shit. So, That's what Persona 5 seems to be, but this isn't. That's why I don't think Rebirth or 16's sales are going to snowball over time. Apparently 16 sold appallingly on Xbox. In fact, let me have a look at it right now. How much did FF16 sell on Xbox? As I say, on Steam it sold 700,000, according to Video Game Insights. On Xbox, FF16 sold 22,000 copies. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's fuck, man. Jesus. I actually honestly feel a bit bad for laughing about this. That's inhumanly bad. That is so bad. How? I thought it was gonna be like 200,000. What? What's so bad? Okay, in its defense, right? Like, look, I'll tell you what, man. I feel so bad for FF16 here right now that I'm going to attempt to defend it. Who the fuck plays JRPGs on Xbox? All right, how about that? You know, it killed Lost Odyssey. You know, Lost Odyssey came out on Xbox in like, what, 2008? Which was a time period when no one played JRPGs on Xbox. And maybe it's a bit different now, but... Fuck. As Clive would say, fuck. Ponto! Thank you very much for that 52 months. I appreciate that, Ponto. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Red 13's voice acting saved Rebirth. Oh, God almighty. Oh, what a meme. What a meme. Guys, follow my man Ponto here. Oh my god, fuck, man. FF15 sold 5 million on the launch day. Yeah, because I remember, I was there. I thought that it looked like Final Fantasy was coming out of the Dark Ages. And then as I played it, and as the hour or two went by, I had that dreadful sinking sensation of just, oh my god. Not only am I not having fun, but I hate this. This is awful. This is appalling. Went on Xbox too late? That's really bad. You know what? Let's do a... Oh, that's... I'm actually, like, a bit upset about this. I feel sorry for FF16 at this point, man. I feel sorry for it. Oh my god, bro. That's very harsh. Yeah. It was a treat to watch my FF16 VODs. Maverick, I appreciate that. Those were a different time. That's where you saw my amazing Clive shorts, which you can also find on my YouTube at times. It's already dead. It is. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Square. That was a bit mean. Alright, let's have a look at this. Okay. While Square Enix are inspired by Clair Obscur E33 and see its success as a reason to continue making command-based RPGs, FF17 is still years away with no news about it. However, for fans craving a return to turn-based combat, there are heavy rumors for a remake of the beloved FF9. Well, here's the problem. How many years have they been remaking 9? Like, I don't know, but I just keep hearing about this. We, to this day, still do not have a single screenshot of this game. We don't have 1 second of gameplay footage. All the footage that you've seen in any YouTube video is, I think it comes from the Memoria project, which is like a fan modders FF9 project, which, from what I've seen, is probably going to be a lot more faithful to FF9 than the actual Square remake is going to be. Knowing their questionable track record when it comes to remaking their classic games, I just get the feeling they're just going to change everything for the worse. They're going to take the original designs that everyone knows and loves, and they're just going to butcher them. They're just going to make unnecessary changes. Just, even if it's like stupid little shit, it's going to be enough that you're going to be like, why? Like, say, Vincent in FF7 Rebirth, when he transforms into Galleon Beast. Except Galleon Beast is purple. Galleon Beast is like a small Vincent-sized version of a behemoth from FF7. And yet when he transforms into that in Rebirth, suddenly he's like white. He's not purple. He's lost that basic iconic coloring. Why? Nobody knows. And it's one of those things where it's not a big deal, but, you know, at the same time, the devil is in the details. I get the feeling they're just going to do that with 9. They're just going to... The characters will be somewhat not unrecognizable, but you'll be like, why did they remove that part of that character's look? I love that part of their look. Or, yeah... Why did they add that? Yeah, Vivi is red. he's just in red clothes instead of... I don't know, they wouldn't do something that dumb. But then again, just remember what you're dealing with. So, yeah. I don't know. And the thing is, if they were planning to do the ARPG slot route for FF9 after E33, those plans are in the bin. They won't be doing that anymore. They'd be insane to do that. They would be out of their minds to, if you pick up FF9 Remake and immediately you're having to do like Dark Souls dodge rolls or like Devil May Cry dodge rolls and all that stuff with Vivi and Steiner, you'd be like, what is this? You know, that's going to be the reaction. So they've got to figure out some sort of evolved turn-based form for 9 Remake. I just don't know. I think... Tell me how you feel about this, guys. But I think that brand trust in Final Fantasy is at the lowest it has ever been in its entire history. And for those who have been along for this entire ride, that's saying a lot, Sonny Jim. That's saying a lot. And, yeah. Because I think there's been an unholy trinity that has irreparably damaged the brand of Final Fantasy, even worse than it already was. Like, let me put it this way. 16, like, has kind of killed any hopes people have for, like, new mainline original FFs. It's just like, yeah, we don't care about the OG fans anymore. Here's some Devil May Cry. Still want you to buy it, though, so we'll call it FF. Dawn Trail has killed 14's MSQ. It's dead. It's never recovering from that. 16 and Dawn Trail have also, with all due respect to the guy, because, you know, with all due respect to Yoshi P, 14 and 16 have put cracks in, I don't want to say his reputation, but there was an image that he was this god before, on par with, like, Miyazaki in the 14 community. I don't think they see him that way anymore. This is no disrespect to the guy. He seems like a really nice, cool dude, but people don't see him as someone who can do no wrong anymore. And, like, designing FF16 to play like a single-player version of 14 or an MMO was not a great call. Yeah, he's no longer infallible, and, I think something that really... I think the thing that actually hurt him the most was, the article where he said that turn-based combat just won't look good in AAA graphics. You know, it's like, well, E33 was like, but what if it did? And it did, and it was amazing. And also, there was no foundation to this argument at all, because FF10 and Lost Odyssey both aimed for the most realistic graphics they could achieve in that time period, and they looked fantastic. And anyone who says that, like, oh, 10 was weeb, that wasn't aiming for realism. Look, be honest, guys. When you look at 10 and you look at Persona, do you see the same picture? No, you don't. All right? Stop fucking lying, okay? I've heard people literally argue that 10 is just anime. I'm like, what about Auron? The guy looks about as realistic as a boomer you can possibly get. Have you not seen him in the cutscenes? Like, huh, what, a weeb with a sword? You guys are dishonest as fuck. Like, my god. And then it's, you know what's funny? Is I've argued with these people, and then they have the audacity to say, well, alright, okay. Yes, 10's realistic 3D, which is more like, you know, I don't know, The Last of Us or God of War. Yes, that's different from, say, like, Metaphor Persona and all that. But what does art style matter? I'm pretty fucking sure that art style matters, alright? There's a reason there's awards for art direction and art style. Like, are you out of your fucking mind? What does art style matter? How could you be so disrespectful to people who specialize in art? It's ridiculous. It's out of your goddamn mind. It's not saying that anything is better than the other, whether it's anime, whether it's pixel, whether it's realistic 3D, but they all have different appeals, they have different styles, and they do different things well. Of course art style matters, you silly sausage! So anyway, but yeah, anyway, the unholy trinity that has brought down Final Fantasy's reputation is 16, Dawn Trail, and FF7 Remake Rebirth. Those have destroyed people's faith in the MMO, people's faith in new original Final Fantasies, and in Square's ability to remake a classic game. It's sad, Remake and Rebirth have destroyed the memory of FF7. They've destroyed its legacy forever. And anyone who says, oh, how does this affect that? I'll tell you exactly how. Because you cannot stream this game, you cannot talk about the original FF7 anymore without an endless stream, an endless parade of people bringing up Remake and Rebirth, asking you what you think about it all the time. To eventually, you gotta say, I don't really like them. And then you get met with one of two reactions. Either sad puppy dog eyes, like you just popped all their birthday balloons, or they start to argue with you. And as we all know, the way that Rebirth fans argue or defend that game is they hurl insults and gaslights. They call you old, blinded by nostalgia, stubborn, resistant to change. Oh, and the original FF7 wasn't even that good to begin with, you know. This is obviously a massive improvement, and it's this endless fucking argument. And then, if you actually do resolve the argument, someone else shows up, and the cycle continues. Remake and Rebirth have destroyed the conversation around the original FF7 forever. It will never be the same because of that. And for me, even though and for me, that's why they are my least favorite. They, for me, are the worst Final Fantasies of all time because they ruined my favorite one. They ruined what you can argue was the best. But anyway, and it's ironic because they'll call you nostalgic, but they're the ones who are blinded by nostalgia because nostalgia is what's making them put up their blinders, ignore the most obvious red flags in the world, and not hold those games to the same standards they would hold any other game to. That's the irony of it all. Yeah. Alright, enough talking about. Let me respond to some chats and we'll continue. You're wondering what kind of bloodbath is going to happen if the next title bombs like 16 and Rebirth? I don't see how it can't. I don't see how it can't, man. They're fucked. Art style matters. Just ask Concord J-Bird. Oh, God. Maelle. Yeah. Enough fucking about. Let's continue, boys. There's a reason why Octopath Traveler is the prettiest game it's made in years. Octopath looks really nice. I just worry because people say it has a lot of dialogue bloat, and they say the characters aren't that interesting. From what I've seen from people streaming it, none of the characters really grab me. Auron is only 2 years older than Clive. Yeah, exactly, mate. So, yeah, Jordash. Fuck. All right, let's keep going with this argument, guys. Yeah, Crass, that argument is just relentless, man. It's endless, man. When you argue with FF7 defenders, they say it's good, not because of the story, but because of the gameplay. Yeah, and the thing is, Chadrick, FF7 Remake and Rebirth's gameplay is not actually the thing I dislike the most about it. If they did not completely butcher and ruin the story and the tone and the characters and everything the original game stood for, I wouldn't care so much about the combat. I'd be like, oh, the story's mad, yeah, whatever. But because it's butchered that then influences how I feel about the combat and sours it. And, in a lot of ways, FF7 Remake and Rebirth's combat completely embodies the philosophy of the game itself, of the story itself, which is try to make two completely opposite audiences happy at the exact same time. So here's the hack and slash for the action fans, and here's a bit of freeze frame ATB for the turn-based fans. See? We made both people happy at once. But instead, they make no one happy at once. It's not great turn-based, and it's not great action. You know, it's like spam. Here's how FF7 Remake combat works. Spam useless attack until enemy gets staggered. Enemy gets staggered. Enemy flops around like a fish for 45 seconds. That's when you use slow attack, which takes 45 seconds to wind up and hit. Bang. Okay, you did it. Enemy gets up, rinse and repeat. That's it. You can switch to other characters, but no matter who you switch to, there's no sense of aggro at all. So if you're playing as Cloud and then you switch to Tifa, the enemy's gonna be like, and you're like, oh my god, he's coming right for me. Okay, switch to Barret, and you switch to Barret, and then the enemy's like, and it's just like, it chases you down like it owes you money, and there's no sense of aggro management at all. The AI for your other party members is useless. They're rubbish. But as I say, all right, people who like the combat, it's not actually my biggest gripe with the game. If the story was intact, if the story hadn't been ruined and butchered, and if we hadn't been bait and switched with the multiverse sneakle, I actually wouldn't mind the combat nearly as much. All right, that's my final answer. But since they did ruin the story, that influences how I feel about the combat. Sours my experience of it, so on and so forth. So, enough fucking about. Let's continue. Let's fucking continue. Sorry guys, I know I got on like a million tangents, but it's just the stream. So, oh, not at all, Crass. It's, yeah, I can't help it. Shibiri's Woe 100% of the time. Spud, is that a streamer? I should know that. That's the fun, Eben? Yeah, you know. The encounter design can be dreadful at times, Eben Music. Yeah, yeah. The Midgar Summer scene. Oh, bro, Casadis, that's so bad. Yeah, they really ruined that scene. Don't you worry, there's a YouTube video coming out about that. The life bars? Yeah, the thing is, as I say, all this I can just forgive if they didn't fuck up the story. If Square got their great storytelling and characters back, almost everything else would fall into place. Raikou, thank you for the Prime. Boobers? They banked the whole series on it, J-Wummy? Oh my god. Alright, enough fucking about it. Hang on. 90% of the dialogue in Octopath is soulless and the voice acting makes it worse. Ever Music. Oh, that makes me so sad! I want those to be good so badly. They look so good, but I need writing. I'm at the age where graphics and art style alone isn't enough. Your biggest gripe with the fanfic is whatever the fuck happens at the end of Zolan. Oh yeah, Raijin. Yeah, that Zolan boss fight is... Don't worry, we'll get a YouTube video about that. So, alright, enough fucking about. Random encounters? I actually think random encounters, I don't miss them, and I don't miss ATB. FF10, that shows you how good turn-based really is. Like, pure turn-based. And you know the weird thing? Pure turn-based is faster than ATB. You wouldn't think that, right? Surely the bar filling up showing your speed, but all it does is it just creates huge amounts of dead space in the fight. You and the other enemy just stand there twiddling your thumbs while you wait for your bars to fill up, then you can move. Whereas, I remember with FF10, I was like, wait, I can just go bang, 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 and all my characters are flying over, enemy clocks me in the face, then I was like, man, how the fuck is pure turn-based faster than ATB? It's ridiculous. I think ATB was an unnecessary invention. It was a gimmick to trick fans into thinking that turn-based was more action-y than it actually was, and it, I don't know. I think it was an unnecessary development, and I think it made turn-based worse. Yeah. Anyway, enough fucking about. Underwater! Arigato! For the 2,000 bit-honors! Absolutely huge. Unicorn Overlord is alright. What is that about? That sounds hilarious, that title. And Kras, thank you for the gifted Subarus. ATB is stressful? Yeah. And my last criticism of ATB is that enemies just automatically choose some of the 3 attacks they have instantly. You know, so they're always taking a turn in a millisecond. Whereas me, the player, I'm always taking a moment to decide what I'm going to do next. And because of that thinking time, and it all adds up, ATB just means that the enemy takes 2 turns for every 1 turn you have. It sucks! Anyway, enough fucking about. I'll turn that into a short as well, because ATB needs to be... It needs to be criticised. It needs to be criticised. Fucking deserves it, mate. So... Boss Horgans! Thank you very much for that Subaru. FF9 should be turn-based. The whole point of that was return to the original. That's true. Yes, you're right, boss. FF9's whole thing was to return to the original formula of Final Fantasy because 8 is a real departure from things. People said that 7 might be, but no, 8 departs a lot more, in my opinion, from the classic formula and style. So yeah, no, I agree. Philosophically, it should have that. So, all right. Tell you what, let me put up a trailer for Unicorn Overlord. We will come back to this in a bit. We will do this article, by the way, and I'll make this a YouTube React video because there's plenty of good stuff here. Trailer. Unicorn Overlord. Okay, all right. Jesus, what a title, Jesus. Ugh. Yeah, all right, let's do this. In other gaming news, the developers of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader have praised the incredible job by Larian on Baldur's Gate 3. I'll tell you what, guys. Considering how Baldur's Gate 3 played, and they're never going to do this, but imagine if Larian made FF Tactics. Imagine if Larian Studios made a Final Fantasy Tactics game. I would splooge my trousers. It would be fucking 1 second. Sold. Instantly. Sold! To me, the highest bidder. Also, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Just 1 second. We'll do this. What timestamp is this? Okay, good. Kupo. I feel like this could be a good little bit of news. Yeah. Why not? It's a free country. I mean, basically, at the end of the day, guys, like, I've almost become this E33 Final Fantasy type streamer, YouTuber, content creator, whatever you want to call it. So why not? Why not keep up with the fucking news? BG3 is the best game ever made. BG3, Baldur's Gate 3 is a contender for the best game ever made. It's easily one of the best games ever made. Because what Baldur's Gate 3 does, how would I say this? Everything a game needs to be good at, Baldur's Gate is good at that. It's superb graphics, writing, mocap, voice acting, gameplay, depth, breadth, phenomenal story, pacing, almost, and another thing is that it goes beyond the Call of Duty to be good at things you would not expect it to be that good at. Like its branching storylines, for example. I mean, it did stuff that in any other game, that's a game over. You know, Astarion wanted to suck my blood while I was asleep. And I thought, you know what? Let's see how far we can go with this. So I let him continue to suck me off until I died. And you know what? Any other game, that's a game over. But not in Baldur's Gate 3. The next day, everyone woke up and I was dead. And Astarion, of all people, had the bloody gall to say, oh gosh, something happened. So I had to take control of another character, go to bloody Withers, resurrect my main character, get up, walk over to Astarion, and punch him in the fucking face. And he's like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to kill you. I just got carried away, gosh. And as I'm doing this, the player, I'm like, I can't believe this game is letting me do this. This is insane. That game lets you branch more than other games that are meant to specialize in branching stories. Like, that is incredible. It's just amazing. The writing, the dialogue of that, it's not just good, it's poetry. Just take Raphael, the devil character. Every line he has is just Shakespearean. He's Faustian, he's Christopher Marlowe, and his voice acting is superb. And when you fight him, he sings his own theme song. Imagine the whopping levels of ego your character has to do that. And what else? And Astarion. Can't say enough good things about him. I fucking love the whole cast, man. I love Mummy Karlach, alright? She can step on me any day of the week. But I love Astarion. What a phenomenal, iconic invention. Astarion steals every single scene he's in. He's that fucking good. He's so awesome. Thank you, Turbo, for the follow. And the last thing I'll say is that it blew my mind to learn about the origins of a lot of RPGs in that regard. Because Dungeons and Dragons kind of started it all, you know, whether it's Warcraft or Final Fantasy or whatever, they're all built on that foundation. And what blew my mind the most was when the enemies fell in some water. Sorry, what blew my mind the most was some water fell on the enemies in a fight, and I was gonna cast thunder on them to electrocute them. And my chat's like, yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm like, but it's thunder. You know, lightning electrocutes the water, and like, no. Thunder is a sound wave. Thunder doesn't make things, thunder doesn't electrocute things, lightning does. I'm like, but thunder, lightning, that's the same thing. It's like, no, not in D&D. They are completely different things in that. In every game after that, thunder and lightning are completely interchangeable, you know. But in D&D, no. Lightning is, in D&D, lightning electrocutes. Thunder is a sound wave that pushes. And by that logic, if you create like a cone of silence around something, you can still use lightning because there's no sound in that, but you can't use thunder anymore because that cone of silence has negated the sound necessary to hit people with thunder. Like, this level of depth blew my mind, and I could not believe it. I was blown away by what Baldur's Gate. I was blown away by Baldur's Gate's depth and complexity. So yeah. Adequate! Adequate! Thank you for the Subaru! I appreciate that. Also, Turbo, thank you for enjoying the stream lately. I appreciate that. Biggest thing is that it did a Latin spat in the face of current business practices. No, it did. It was so good, man. And that's, I think, Play Any Good Books lately is, it's like E33 in that regard, where it reminds us of how things used to be in the video game world, how they used to feel. And it's good that they did that. It's a noble thing that they did that. Dragonborn, thank you for the 1 year. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If you kill him and then revive him, he has different dialogues. And thanks for being a... I didn't know that. That's hilarious, mate. He stops singing if you silence him. Yeah. No, Undertale is superb, Jaybird. It's I would love to voice act it. Also, Reject. Thank you for catching me live. I still want to voice act Undertale properly, but I need to plan that out. Because his characters are really good, but I just don't know them well enough to do it off the top of my head. So, is there anything else good I could say about Baldur's Gate 3? There was one other thing I wanted to say. I had it. It's gone. That's alright. You know what? I will plug Baldur's Gate 3 on YouTube. I'll say why you should play Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. Because even though it is like a mega success, it deserves that for that reason. CD Cart Lady, thank you very much for the 62 Subarus! Oh, sorry. Underwater, I was reading... Sorry, I was reading the chat below that. Thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Sadie, how are you liking Undertale? It's fascinating, isn't it? Yeah, BG3 does a great job of giving the players real consequences. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I still have never done Dark Urge, by the way. So I got to do that at some point. It will take me about 2 months to stream the whole thing, but it'll be fine. Also, I would love to, on that playthrough, do completely different classes from what I did the first time. I want to, if I do a Dark Urge, I want everyone to be evil as fuck. Alright. I'll make an evil version of my Tav. I'll make... Oh my god. Elsa Angel, thank you for blowing up that emoji. I'll use Astarion, because he's evil. I feel like Lae'zel also likes to get her hands dirty, if you know what I mean. And, I want to get Minthara. I want Minthara. And which I think you have to do a few irreparable things to get her in your party. Alright, enough fucking about, chat. Let's do this. Tell you what, let's watch Unicorn Overlord trailer before we continue. Let's get down to business. Like, you guys have been repping this. I'm just gonna warn you guys, I don't play anime games. I like watching animes, but I don't like anime games. So, unless this is the Overlord anime, which is one of my favorite things ever, and my god, we need a new season of that. Let me just refresh that. So, You can get Minthara in the good guy campaign. Oh, okay, alright. Let's see this. Alright, Mozzie. Why is there this stupid bar at the bottom? Hang on, just a minute. You can see this grey bar, right? It's pushing me off. Come on, mate. Listen, you smeg. I'm just gonna open a new window. Fuck it. There you go. Apothecary! Thank you for that 2 monthly! I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Does anyone know how to get rid of this? Does anyone know how to get rid of this? The fuck is this? Whose stupid idea was this? YouTube. It's the browser how the... What? Please don't be in this. Okay, so it's not in that. I zoomed? Hang on. Oh, I have to... Oh, piss off, man. You fucking piece of shit. Stupid bastard. Alright, well, fuck it. You know what? If I hate Unicorn Overlord, it's because of this, alright? I blame this. Blame YouTube. Alright, let's watch it.
The people of Cornea are suffering, crying out for whatever help will hear their pleas. Should I turn a deaf ear to those voices, I would have little and less claim to the crown I feel is mine. That, and I owe it to my mother to see them safe. We march to vanquish Galerius and free all nations of Fevrith alike.
You have quite the grand vision for yourself. You would charge ahead knowing well the severity of our struggles.
As much as it hurts to admit it, I could never pose a threat to Zenoira on my own.
I'll never deserve your trust again.
Now, take your stations.
These beasts have proven unfit to govern themselves time and time again.
I'm glad to have reached this conclusion.
Now then, the hour has come. There are those among Galerius's adherents who willfully chose to betray the Queen those long years ago. I fear we have no hope of avoiding conflict with such traitors.
Fly your crest across the banner of the liberation. Spearhead the rebellion against Zenoira, and you will surely find kindred spirits ready to take arms in your name.
What say we sing this hymn together?
I want to do what I can to end this war for good.
After what they've done for us, our friends here are honorary Bestrels.
This time, my arrows shall support your march.
The earth may be theirs, but the heavens will surely favor those who stand for justice. Which is precisely why I'll need your help.
That's the best scene in the whole game.
Stand for justice. Which is
that's the best thing I've seen in this entire trailer. Here's the problem, right? Jules J. Bad Newgrounds anime sex game. Wasn't gonna say, but here's the problem. I'm sure the gameplay is fine. Aesthetically, this doesn't grab me at all. As I say, I don't watch anime. Sorry, I don't play anime games. Last of all, it's anime dub voice acting. It's dub voice acting. It's not great.
Precisely why I'll need your help. I'd count you among our allies as well. Come, help us topple.
Here's the problem with anime dub voice acting is that it's extremely generic. It's never specific. Something that in Japanese might sound like Goku! Kakaro the Messiah, Doisuke no Trunks-kun. That exact same line is gonna sound like, well, seems like he's figured out my Toku Gensai. It's gonna be like, nice one, Daizaburo. But Kenichi, what if he figures out my Sakamura? You know, it's at 100% of the time. Sorry, 99% of the time. This or it's this sort of generic English stuff. Oh no, we've got to stop Bahamut before he eats all our crumpets. Was Atticus, thank you for that raid. Welcome in.
Rain.
For the kingdom of Drakenhold, we shall never fail.
Did you really think we'd let these atrocities go unpunished?
And not a soul among us desires liberation.
Prepare to breathe your last, Geeth. And if anyone's capable of stopping Galerius, it's you. Come back to me, savior of Fevrith.
The rebirth! No! The forbidden word! The forbidden word! I can never escape this fucking word! Ah, get out! Get off! Get off the screen! Get it out! I think that if you are a person who plays anime games, this actually looks quite good for what it is. I am just not the target audience, and I never will be. One day, people will learn to stop recommending me anime games. But it will not be this day. It will not be this day, as Aragorn would say. The rebirth of Sebbywebz. I can't get away from it, man. You play anime games and it looks meh to you? Yeah, I feel like, to me, what seems like the biggest name in anime games right now is like Persona 5 and Metaphor. Otherwise, I forget if it's Trails or Tales. Is it Trails or Tales? They're all the fucking same thing to me. They all look the same, alright? It's true! All these anime characters look exactly the same to me. I can't tell the difference between any of them. So, yeah. Also, Kiklo, thank you very much for the 10-month-ru. Arigato. Arigato. Alright, let's continue, boys and girls. Let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it. Tales of or Trails in the Sky. There's Trails and Tales, two different series. Is there also Tails, as in Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog? Why not have an in-between as well? Rostabon, thank you very much for that prime. I appreciate that. Alright, get out of here, you. Also, no disrespect to anyone who recommended this. Clearly, it's a loved and respected game. It's just not me. It's just not me. The Tales of Trails' Tales. Alright, we can get rid of Dark Reader now, I'd say. Let's... Actually, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, chat. I'll tell you what. Let's bring everyone back to life. I'm going to show you guys something. I have a friend who's one of the biggest trolls I know. And naturally, he discovered Chinese Instagram the other day. And what is going on that section of that platform is the most insane shit I have ever seen in my life. And I'm going to show you the reel that he sent me. And he had no context other than that. This is the best video that has ever been made. Just check this out.
这水好甜啊！
不好意思，师傅们，我洗脚时候没看见你们。
哎，水里为什么会有金针菇啊？师傅，你们在厕所旁边干啥呢？师傅，一定是你这个妖精害死了师傅，我要帮他们报仇。有
意思，这居然还会说话，真香！等等，这个味道难道是八戒？八戒，你可一定要记住了。
你是谁呀？
我是高翠兰啊，化妆就不认识了。我在这等你好几天了，这次你该给我砍头发吧。八戒被我抓回来了。
What is this story? It's amazing.
这是高家给你的聘礼，这本母猪的产后护理和小猫口粮就交给你了。有你在，我们高老庄的养猪产业一定能蒸蒸日上。
我们不能让你们轻视。
你们高老庄的猪养起来了，那我们狮驼岭的鸡卖不出去怎么办？
让你们的鸡去打篮球怎么样？
那就是没得谈喽。你们高老庄的猪一直也别想卖。
Oh my god！
轻轻那么冲动干嘛？很亏，小猫咪，要不你做我宠物吧？
真当我是冰猫啊！今天你们一个跑不掉。
大家不用怕，大包也是猫。纯是一口黑金烘焙凉，全鲜鸡肉制作，没有冻肉。谁说的唐僧肉难得？这比唐僧肉还鲜，酥酥脆脆，浓浓鸡肉香。没有毛毛，躲不了它的极致诱惑。
这只猫猫我就收服了。比起这个，八戒，我们赶紧去洞房吧。你别紧张，
一边不是。
八戒，你是真心的吗？喝完交杯酒，你就是真夫妻了。
我。八戒，我们一起去西天取经吧。好。翠兰，对不起，我还是忘不了大师兄。呆着。高老太爷让我来试试你的诚意，没想到你还是想去取经。大师兄，八戒。
啥意思？假戏真做是吧？你俩还过上了
！Oh my god, bro！
越来越近了。
年轻人火气。
你一个人在这干嘛？你是来拉屎的吧？
这水好甜啊！
Who would have thought that China would be the greatest comedians of the world right now. That I didn't need to understand a single word of that, and that was one of the fucking funniest things I've ever seen. That is, it's the best video on the internet. It's the greatest video ever made, and I'll give it to you right now. All right, I'm gonna call this Chinese Insta. That is, I had to send that to everyone. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. That was absolutely fucking incredible. Let's close that and I'll respond to some chats. Square Riders could learn from this. Like, that was better than FF16. Oh my god, mate. Who is the genius who even thought of that and animated that? Oh my god, bro. Oh, welcome in, Fortitude. Yes, these streams are absolutely wild. Welcome to the channel. So, Smelly, you got here and you're disappointed. This isn't a trailer for the game we'll be playing. If that was a game, I would play it. Holy shit. Oh, dude, that sound was like, boing. That is my favorite comedic sound now. That's so funny. Holy shit. Brain rot in its most condensed form, Denicton. How the fuck did the Chinese beat us at our own game? I thought the West was the founder of brain rot. They bloody smashed us. What is going on, Otacon? I have no idea, but thank you for the follow. Eben, I feel like it's almost funnier when you can't understand what they're saying. It's so fucking, oh my god. I remember just watching that, I couldn't stop watching it and I was just crying. I was in my bed with tears coming out of my eyes. I had to send that to everyone, man. Tell you what, I gotta turn on my aircon. I'm gonna take a piss. China invented TikTok. They did, Taurus. I forgot about that. Yeah. So, Ashtakoi's sad face. I'm gonna take a piss, and then we'll react to the Sakaguchi Nobuo Uematsu article. This is really important. This is actually extremely important. What I've heard in this. So, we will do that. I'll just run. I don't know. I think I've already run an ad. So. Let's do this instead, alright? You know what? Y'all get to see this. How about this? I'll do my indie game music video. There we go. There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have a music video channel, believe it or not. And the very first song, the very first music video I ever made. Mortis Arius. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Oh, is Australia considered East or West? Australia is technically closer to, it's a lot closer to Asia than it is to, say, Europe or America, but it is like a Western country. More Asian influenced than it wants to let on, but it's fine. Anyway, enough talking about it. This was the first music video I ever made. It is called All the Small Games, and it's a tribute to Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was the first music video I ever put on my music video channel. And I'll give you the link right now in chat. We'll call it Indie Game Music Vid. There you are. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you for enjoying that. A lot of passion and a lot of soul went into that. Very fucking proud of it. Made you tear up a bit? Get out of here. Those indie games, yeah, I played a lot. God, I used to hunt for indies back in the day. And I found a lot of good ones, I would say. I found a lot of good ones. So, thank you for those cloppies. Oh, yeah, Modenthea, that's how you know I'm taking the piss. Hollow Knight? Yeah, I need to play that at some point. Blink 182 lawsuit? No, it's just copyright sharing. That's all it is. The YouTube thing. All right, let's keep going. Stop fucking about. I also made myself another coffee. Did I share the Chinese video? Yeah, it's in chat, Rainstorm. Scroll up. Scroll up. I'm gonna refill my water, and then we'll do it. Oh, no! Uh-oh. It's fine. I dripped a bit of water on my keyboard, but it'll be alright! Be alright, chat. It wasn't much. Alright? It'll survive. It'll fucking survive. So. It's alright. Great homage? Oh, bro. I grew up with Blink-182. The idea that I could turn one of their songs into an indie tribute that also acts as like a shout out for all these great indie games. I think it deserves it, man. As in, indies are like they're a backbone of gaming. Always have and always will be. And even though they can't always be at the scale of, big AAA blockbusters and all that, they're still, they're necessary. They're a great testing ground. I respect that indies, they don't have to be good at everything like a AAA. They just have to be really good at one or two things and then be the best at that. And they can experiment in a way that's a lot safer for them than modern stuff. So, than AAA stuff. Nurgle-torious? Oh god. I was playing Total War 3 with a friend on my holiday. Godhound. I didn't realize how much they've added to that game, man. I played as Beastmen. I haven't played that game in 6 years. Beastmen now have Gorgons, Jabberslyths, and what's the other one? They've got a lot more units I've never... Everyone has... It's like the old game was incomplete in a way. Everyone has like twice as many units as they used to have. It's nuts, man. Mud Puggery! Arigato for the tier 3 subby! Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Fantasian? I've seen Fantasian, and with all due respect, even though it's trying to recapture that vibe of the old FFs, it does not hit me in the same way. It doesn't, man. And I know that it's Sakaguchi working on it. It just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't... Let me put it this way. The old ones like FF7, 8, 9, Legend of Dragoon, Chrono Cross, that sort of look they were going for, they were all peaks of their time period, graphically and stylistically. Whereas with Fantasian, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't... They haven't... It doesn't look like the best this time period has to offer. Sorry, I know that's going to offend a lot of people, but that's how I feel about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a grog, but they haven't added anything to the Skaven. Yeah, they got nukes. Skaven don't need any more. So, but yeah, I got mad respect for Sakaguchi. That's not me trying to like undersell it or anything. I'm just saying this is how I react to it, and I can't. And here's the thing, chat. Would you rather I lie to you? No one wants me to fucking lie to them. Class. Unreal Engine. Indie studio that could turn your writing into game experiences. That video gave you inspiration? Oh, you get out of here. Look, if you're game designing, I think like looking at all the classic indies is really important. So, alright, enough fucking about. Last game Nobuo Uematsu did music for. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, anyway, let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, let me get the... I am a silly goose sausage. Just 1 second, chat. There we go. I forgot to bump the browser music back up because I had to halve it because it's Instagram. Instagram's like stupidly loud and you can't change the volume. All right, let's do this. I fucking love Subnautica's music. Square collapsed after Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi left, says composer Nobuo Uematsu, the legend behind all your favorite Final Fantasy songs. The situation at Square was awful after he quit. Let's bump this up. Square collapsed after Hironobu Sakaguchi left the company, said Final Fantasy composer Nobuo Uematsu, adding that the situation at Square was awful after he quit. Yeah, not great. Final Fantasy series creator Sakaguchi joined Uematsu on the podcast Nobio to Ishune earlier this month, where they discussed their time together at Square working on the series in the 80s and the 90s. God, I wish I spoke Japanese so I could listen to that. That's fantastic. Sakaguchi resigned in 2001 before officially leaving Square in 2003, along with other key members of the company, ahead of its merger with rival Enix that same year. Yeah, and we all know why that happened, sadly, which is, while Sakaguchi is a genius who is basically the mastermind behind the best years of Final Fantasy, except he left before 10, He also went all into Final Fantasy Spirits Within, which is one of the most puzzling movies out there. For those of you who don't know, Final Fantasy Spirits Within is a generic, forgettable, depressing science fiction movie that for some reason is called Final Fantasy. It has nothing to do with Final Fantasy at all. There's one character called Sid, spelt with an S, not a C. Yeah. It's got the voice acting talents of Alec Baldwin and Steve Buscemi, and no one remembers anything about this movie at all, except that when they drop out of their ship, instead of using parachutes, they shoot globs of goo on the ground, and then they land in the goo to cushion their fall, and then the goo dissolves. That's the only thing I remember. So, I appreciate that, Chicky Knuckles. Welcome in. Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within is an extremely expensive, beautiful-looking, forgettable film. The animation was so expensive that I think it cost... Here, let me put into perspective how expensive this film was. How much did it cost to animate Aki hair? Look at this, chap. How much did it cost to animate the hair of Aki in Final Fantasy Spirits Within? Let's see. The cost of the cost of animating her hair is not specifically stated in the budget. However, its total budget was $130 million. That's a lot. And I don't know if this is adjusted for inflation or not, but that's still a shit ton. But I remember at the time there was an article that said it cost something like it was either 4 million or 14 million. It couldn't possibly be 40 million, but it was 4 million or 14 million to animate her hair alone for this movie. It was staggering how much it cost just to animate one character's hair. Yeah, absolutely crushing failure. And it was the first time that Final Fantasy fans felt betrayed by Square. It was the first time that something that didn't feel like Final Fantasy at all had the Final Fantasy name slapped onto it to sell more tickets. It is. And as much as I love Sakaguchi, I don't know what he was thinking when he did this. But you know what, man, we're human. We can't get it. Not everything can be a slam dunk. It's fine. You know, he's done more than enough bloody great work to make up for this. But the sad thing is the devastating effects of Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Let me put it this way. The devastating effects of this film can still be felt today because this bankrupted Squaresoft got Sakaguchi out of the company, who was, you know, the guy who was able to rein in all these deranged geniuses like Nomura and all that. It's what I think caused the merger with Enix, and after Square merged with Enix, that's when it all went to shit. So yeah, anyway. You love Spirits Within because the movie... the CGI was so ahead of its time. It was incredible. It invented new technology for this. So, we all have our scrubs, what I can't... Yeah, what? Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, wow, what an asshole, as I have... you know, contributed not even 1% to the world of what Sakaguchi has contributed. Who am I to bloody judge? So, yeah. You were in a theater with a broken speaker, Devo. Oh, that's not the movie's fault, but yeah, you know. Yeah. Yeah, your parents will be like, what the fuck? Yeah, OG fast. And the problem with Final Fantasy Spirits Within is that it got millions of children's movie-choosing privileges revoked for the rest of their lives. Because... we all know what happened here. You know, we played FF7, 8, 9. We were like, wow, this series never misses. Final Fantasy, the movie? Mom, Dad, we have to see this. It's gonna be the greatest movie ever made. And as we walked out of the cinema with our parents, our mum and dads looked at us and they said, you are never picking a movie ever again. Clearly, Final Fantasy sucks and always has. 7, 9. I'm never believing you when you say they're good again. By the way, you're disowned. Here's $20. Get the fuck out of my house. So, that's basically, yeah, and then your dad Titus laughs in your face, which is non-canonical because, you know, 10 came out 2 weeks after Spirits Within, but, you know, for the sake of comedy, that's what happened. So, yeah, it's ridiculous, mate. Oh my god, ever music. Kingsglaive? I've never seen it, but people say it's good. Problem is, it's tied to FF15, which is not a great time. So, let's get out of here. Now, my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, alright? which I have zero evidence for, but I'm going to say it anyway. My theory is that after Enix bought Square, they deliberately made Final Fantasy as shit and lame and soy and cringe as possible on purpose as revenge for Final Fantasy overshadowing Dragon Quest for literally 15 years straight. That's my theory. I have no evidence for this, but it lines up perfectly with what happened, so I'm going to establish it as concrete fact. Which is true, you know. Oh, well, no, that part's not necessarily true, but I mean, like, Dragon Warrior, I think, came out in 86 or 87, and Final Fantasy 1 came out, I think, the same year or a year after. And if you look at Dragon Warrior and you look at Final Fantasy 1, FF1 is considerably more advanced than Dragon Warrior in every single way possible. So, yeah. That's my theory. Yeah. What the heck? Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Dragon Quest is more popular than FF in Japan? I don't know why, though. I don't know. Well, Toriyama is immensely popular. He's a god over there. So I can imagine the Toriyama aesthetic being a massive sell. So, yeah, exactly, Jaybird. And the thing is, right, I watched Final Fantasy Spirits Within in cinema. Came out with my dad, and I was like, I don't know what happened. That wasn't FF. And he's like, yeah, that was weird. And then I thought, well, surely I must be wrong. So I watched it with some friends later at home. Oh, God. We got like a VHS or a DVD or something. We watched it. And, wasn't any better the second time round. I was like, man, no, that actually did suck. I wasn't wrong. So, yeah. And again, it's one of those things where, like modern FF, it just would have been received a lot better if it wasn't called Final Fantasy. So it just shows that Square's been doing that from the start. Spirits Within showed us what modern FF was about to become. A bunch of skinwalker games wearing FF suits. A bunch of games that do not feel or play like Final Fantasy, and they certainly don't hit in the same way, but they call themselves Final Fantasy. They are a bunch of skinwalker games. And what's so annoying about that is that because those games exist, you can never get a real Final Fantasy game ever again. You can't get a Final Fantasy game that is true to its roots or hits in the same way the old ones did, because there already is that Final Fantasy. What do you mean? This game that... There's already FF15 and 16. What do you mean? Yeah, so that's kind of the situation we're in right now. And it's a big old load of horse shit. So, alright, enough fucking about. Let's continue with this. Okay, we did that. Square collapsed after Sakaguchi left, said Uematsu on the podcast, thanks to Automaton. To put it simply, he's the big boss. Always has been, always will be. Yeah, I mean, I can just totally see that. Like, look at Nomura under Sakaguchi. And then look at Nomura without Sakaguchi. They seem like two completely different creatives at this point. Yeah. But with all due respect to Nomura, the guy is a fucking genius character designer, and we all know that. We all know that. Delta, thank you for blowing up that insane emoji. Holy shit. So, alright. Uematsu describes Square in its formative years as more of like a club of university students than a serious company. That makes me sad to read that, because, yeah. You can just tell that, like, you know, they're a bunch of young, talented professionals full of ambition and optimism, and they aren't already famous yet. They aren't already too successful. They can't afford to rest on their laurels. They have to follow the rules of good craftsmanship and good writing. Otherwise, their games aren't going to sell. Unlike today, when they can shovel out any old mid-slop, any old mixed bag, and a deranged, crazed section of the fan base will hail it like it's the Mona Lisa in the Sistine Chapel of gaming. Let's see. They were more like a club of university students than a serious company, but Sakaguchi was able to manage the work even in that kind of environment. Okay. He added, we didn't even have a proper corporate organization, yet everyone listened to him. It's the kind of quality you have to be born with. That's really interesting, because some people are natural leaders. Some people are naturally born with this quality. Uematsu called Sakaguchi a leader. He may have been bossy and strict, but he was able to attract the people around him. Yeah, it's like, I've had teachers like this in school who the way they lead, they don't even need to threaten with punishment or anything. You just want to do your best work for them because you respect them. You don't want to disappoint them. Uematsu continued. Maybe Sakaguchi isn't aware of this, but the situation at Square was awful after he quit. He left and the organization suddenly collapsed. I thought to myself, fuck, I'm Clive, and I should get away from here. Yeah, well, he's not wrong. Yeah. Earlier this year, Sakaguchi discussed with Eurogamer how his most recent game, Fantasian, is fueled by nostalgia for his past work. Okay, yeah, respect for that, man. Respect for that intention. Though there have been successes in the Final Fantasy series since Sakaguchi's departure, namely 14, the series has struggled to match the 90s golden era. Yeah, well, it hasn't. It's done. The golden age of Final Fantasy, the absolute best run that it had was Final Fantasy IV to Final Fantasy X, 1991 to 2001, which is crazy that it's exactly 10 years. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they are all classics. They are all, like, how would I say this? They're not always perfect. 8 is quite an interesting. 8 is an interesting mixed bag where it has probably the biggest flaws out of all those games, but its strengths are so strong in terms of visuals and music, it just kind of gets away with it. 10 is interesting because it's the transition game where it's fun in a way a lot of the old games were, but 10 also gives you glimpses for how soy and how Kingdom Hearts everything is about to get. So it's kind of like a birth of a modern age one. But when you see 10-2, it's like, oh, okay, the series is done. Yeah, everything's about to go to shit. So, don't let Ben Starr hear you talking shit on 8. I don't talk shit on 8. I don't. And you know what? Ben Starr, I think, from something I read, he says that he knows that 8 isn't perfect, but he still loves it anyway. And you know what? That is the best way to just appreciate any of these games, man. I know, God, 7's my favorite game, and I know it's not perfect. The whole Cat Sith sacrificing himself to redemption arc makes no bloody sense. He's not sacrificing shit. It's a fucking drone. And even the game realizes how ridiculous this is because another drone of him shows up in the next scene. It's like, oh, hey guys, I'm Cat Sith too. My sacrifice meant nothing. So what is this scene? I mean, it's still a cute scene. I still like it, but I'm not going to act like 7 is perfect, you know. I think, here's the thing, as I say, 8 is part of the golden age of Final Fantasy, even though it has some flaws. So, what was I going to say about this? Yeah. And it's interesting, like, a lot of bands, I think, follow that same rule. They have, like, 10 years of being amazing, and that's it. The Beatles had a 10-year run. Changed the world. Forever. Alright, let's keep going. As for Uematsu, he left Square Enix in 2004, but has since frequently composed pieces for the FF series. Last year, he confirmed he'd be returning for Part 3 of FF7 Remake Trilogy, with a main theme. Alright, okay. As such, he's not retiring from video game music, as some had feared, but admitted that he is going to cut back on video game music because the time commitment would be too long. Well, I hope he comes back for Part 3, because if he wasn't working... Did Uematsu work on Remake Part 1 or Rebirth? Because this implies that he didn't. And that they're like, oh shit, we need the big guns for Part 3 because it's gonna bomb. Okay. He did? Okay. Did he write all of it though? Or was it like a combined effort? Because there is a bit of a problem with FF7 Remake's music. For example, does anyone remember this song? This song in Final Fantasy VII for War Market is unbelievably iconic, and it's called Oppressed People, which is a great name for a song. It's right off the bat, man. Right off the bat, you can get a feel for the vibe of this place. it's great that it sounds like a reggae song. It's like a third world jam, mate. Yeah, it captures kind of the don't give a fuck mentality of living in the slums. And this. Oh god, that character. It's so good. God, this makes me want to replay OG FF7. Yeah, now you would think that for the war market in FF7 Remake, they'd use the same song or a variation of that. Do you want to know what they used instead? I guarantee you're trying to remember it off the top of your head and you can't. Do you know why you can't? Because this is why. No. Where is it? Where is it? Is it OST? Is that what I want? There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the improved version. Oh, wait a minute. Dude, my hands! Thanks for the prime. Appreciate that. Thank you for that look. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the new and improved remade version of War Market in FF7 Remake. Get ready. Here comes a drop. Fucking dog shit. Forgettable crap. Almost sounds like it was written by AI. Rubbish! Rubbish! Why would you do this? What? And you know what? You know how I know that and anyone who says like, oh no, they had to rewrite it, just wouldn't have, the OG wouldn't have worked in this. So when I streamed this game, I tested this. I turned off the music for this area. I put on the real song, The War Market Oppressed People, and I RP walked around. And you know what? It worked better. So I don't know why the fuck they did this, but it's ridiculous. Smile is more memorable than this. Listen to this rubbish. Listen to this. Here it comes. Here it comes. Trash. Trash. Fucking dog shit. How the fuck? So anyone who says that like, oh, I love Remake, you know, but Rebirth is where it went wrong. No. It was shit from Remake, but you didn't know because you didn't realize it was a multiverse sneakle. You didn't realize that this was some fucking bullshit, stupid sequel crap. I know 100% the lyrics. Oh, Smelly, see, my friend and I, we troll each other with this song all the time. we troll each other with this song just to annoy each other. Oh, rubbish. Dog shit. Awful. Awful. Anyway. Do you see why I have no faith in modern Final Fantasy or modern Square anymore? Man, because of shit like that. Charmander, welcome back. And it's not a nitpick, man. Devil's in the details. How do you fuck something like that up? That's the most unfuck. That's the easiest thing not to fuck up in the world. E-Man, welcome in. Sounds like a shitty game show intro or something. Yeah, it's hilariously forgettable, isn't it? Joe's Crab Shack. Yuna's La 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 in FF10 too actually, like, is more memorable than this. All right, Shaybag, welcome in. Let's keep reading this. Okay. Oh, yeah, we've done this. Oh, that's it! Okay, right. Now, it's just a hunch, guys, but something tells me Nobuo Uematsu did not write that track. It's just an educated guess. Sorry, it's just an uneducated guess, but that's what I think. All right, we will also put this on YouTube. Look, guys, I know we haven't done any gameplay, but like, I haven't streamed in like fucking 3 weeks. I've forgotten how to play games. All right, so we're just doing a bit of this for now. Uematsu interview. Yeah. There is one last thing I want to say on this. The fact that he says Square collapsed and the situation at Square was awful after he left, you know, they lost their big boss, like, behind the scenes just all fell apart. I mean, it really explains why Final Fantasy games just became such a mixed bag of mid-slop afterwards. Like, anyone who says, oh, no, it was always about change. It's like, nah, this is an excuse invented to cope with the harsh reality of what FF became. It's bullshit, man. Like, if you look at Final Fantasy, say, 1 to 10, you can see a clear progression along the way. Yes, the characters are different. Yes, the stories are different. Yes, this, and that. It's always like innovations upon an existing formula. But that's different from completely throwing that winning formula out the window and just hitting the randomizer button on every single time you make a new FF game. It's ridiculous. This whole Final Fantasy is about change. Sorry, this whole Final Fantasy has always been about change thing. It's a bullshit argument. And it just falls apart the second you apply it to any other game series. So, yeah. Anyway. Like, Metal Gear Solid, man. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all pretty fucking... You can make the argument that they're all about change as well. You know, they're always very different from each other, and yet they're all clearly part of the same series. So, background music were done by the others. Cryer? Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for ripping on whoever wrote that. But actually, no, I don't, because it's rubbish. So, the duality of man. Exactly. Yes. It's always been about change and innovation. Look, the only argument of Final Fantasy being about change is that it once was good and then it changed into bad. How about this? If you want to say that Final Fantasy has always been about change, it's like, yes, you're right. It changed from being among the best games in the world to not the worst games in the world. That's what it changed into. So, Kojima's a crazy genius? Yeah, no, he's fucking brilliant, man. So, alright, enough fucking about. Enough fucking about. I'll put the full thing on YouTube. We'll react to that article. It was a pretty big, important one. So, you can apply to all other game series, it's just they didn't work. Dead Space and Resident Evil. Yeah, I mean, they changed my life for the worse. God, what a serious. Appreciate that, class. Alright, let's keep going. Okay. Alright. There is one thing I want to react to first, which is I didn't realize the other day that there was an E33 trailer that I hadn't seen. And it made me say, fuck. It also inspired me for something else we might do on today's stream, which is there was a move in that trailer that I'd never seen before. And I was like, I actually don't think I've seen about 50% of the moves in this game, to be honest, because you know how I play, right? I find my favorite things or whatever works, and I don't really change it until I need to. So something we might do later today is I actually want to see everything Minoko has. I know he's got a bunch of monster moves that I've just never seen before. I just want to see what they look like. Get some easy, lazy, cookie cutter React content because I'm completely out of those shorts. And, I also want to see what Sciel looks like if she actually does damage. Because again, I've never tried to make Sciel do damage. Ever. Fuck it. We'll sit down, we'll respec her entirely into that, max DPS, and then maybe test her out on someone who has the highest HP ever. Simon. Why not? And see if I can... see how much damage I can do with her. Because I don't even know how to build her fort. I don't even know how to stack her fortels. Like, I tried it like twice, and then I tried again, it doesn't work. I don't know, man. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Also, guys, Power Trip, thank you very much for the 42 goddamn months. Thank you very much. I was rolling around at the speed of sound. No, I was floating around on the world map the other day, just kind of getting some footage, and I saw an area that I've never been to my entire playthrough. I've never been to the Sunless Cliffs in my entire life. I was like, fuck, should probably check that out. So that would be a cool place to test out Monoko's new enemy skills. And I also, as I was flying around, I saw a weird creature I've never seen before. I'm assuming it's some sort of optional boss. So fuck it. I want to fight him. I want to see what he's up to. But we won't do that just yet. So, yeah, no, Palm Cruise. I appreciate that. It won't look. It's not going to be a proper E33 stream, game stream. There's some other things I want to do first. But I feel like I want to. I should know what Monoko's moves look like at the very least. And you know, I think like Maelle and they all have moves I've never seen. I've got the skill points for it. Fuck it. Let's see what they do. So. Oh, exactly, Morgan. Yeah. All right. Now fucking about. Check out this trailer, man. This trailer will punch you right in the scrotum.
Rated M for mature.
You should never have come. You're only going to make things worse for everyone.
No. She chose to come. I didn't make the rules between you two.
You're fighting to change things.
For those who come after. Right?
Thought I was used to losing people.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, baby.
Take everything.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that move.
Is this true? Maelle's with him. We need to go now.
Who are you?
I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but
she'll never paint again.
Fuck. That might be one of the hardest going trailers I've ever seen in my entire life. That goes so fucking hard. That is unreal. That's so sick. Kanda, thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. And that's where I saw that move Maelle was doing. I was like, I've never seen that. I can't be an E33 guy if I haven't seen half the moves in the game. We got to find some. We'll just cycle through and use a different one every time. So, did anyone think this game wouldn't do great? Well, that trailer was 2 months old. The original trailer, though, looks phenomenal. Looks incredible. Kanda, thank you for the Subaru. Burning canvas. This game has ruined every other game for you, Ectospaz. See, welcome to how people felt when they finished Final Fantasy VII for the first time in 1997. Been chasing the dragon. I've been chasing the dragon for the last 28 years. Finally caught it with this game. And now the cycle repeats. So yeah. Came in from the shorts. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. FF7 was your last one too? Yeah, I mean, as with all due respect to 8, 9, and 10, none of them hit me in the same way 7 did until this one. It's crazy, man. No idea how the game would play. Smelly. Well, they did show that at least in the trailers, though. You don't want to be 50 before another hitter comes? Well, here's the thing, right? The video game industry is so evolved at this point. There will be other companies that will want to do something like this. And Sandfall, I'm pretty sure, I think they said like Clair Obscur is the world. Expedition 33 is just one story within the world. What they choose to do with this IP, and you know, if they choose to work in this world after that, I don't know. But the challenge they've got ahead of them is that the twist, I'm not going to spoil it, but the twist is a trick you can only pull once. So they've got to find a way to tell another compelling, gripping story in that world that can't really use that twist in it, or that type of twist. But I think it's fine, because I think people just want to let them cook and let them come up with something new. And while they're thinking of something like that, they can keep adding to this game. They can add more super bosses. They can add a DLC for like Expedition 60, which seems to be what everyone wants. I feel like with E33's combat system and with its storytelling quality, they can kind of do anything. Like, picture this, guys. Imagine if they made a game, a science fiction game on an alien planet that plays like E33, but half your party member is made up of like aliens, like Mass Effect. Like, it would fucking slap out the wazoo. It would be amazing. Now, they may not do that because they've created this full world here, but I'm just saying, like, with their system, the sky's the limit. So, Psychuxis, arigato for the primary. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Lady Money, some revenge story. Yeah, I mean, fuck. Dude, they could do... They could just do anything. They could do a fucking Lord of the Rings game like this. Like, people said there was a Lord of the Rings turn-based game. What if Sandfall did it? What if Sandfall did a game set in Middle-earth? You know, at a different time period. Like, I would say like an older time period. Say against like Morgoth, you know, when the elves are in their prime, when there was a lot more giant monstrous shit walking around on the land. Because when we see Lord of the Rings, the elves are dwindling. They've saved the world enough times already. They're on their way out. The dwarves are also on their last legs, and the age of man is arising. And everyone talks about how the world used to have so much more in it, and it's all the last of its kind. Like, I think Smaug was the last dragon. The Ents are also going out of fashion. Yeah, it's Ungoliant as a boss. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Fromka, welcome in. Anachronox, I don't know that. One of the party members is a planet. That's insane, okay. Lord of the Rings Expedition 1000. Yeah, that's it. Smaug is one of the smaller dragons. That's what's fucking insane. He's huge, man. Making you want to play FF8 right now? Good. Yeah. Problem is one ending. The thing is, Dreamy, I think you know whose ending is canonical, because the other one is way too bleak. It's way too horrible. So, the voice switched from Japanese to Scottish. You love it. I'm a voice actor. I can't help myself. Painters versus the writers wasabi. Yeah, so they're going to have to come up with something. They're going to have to find a way to integrate those worlds, knowing that players know what they know now. So I'm not going to spoil anything. It is. Death. The saga is born. And it's cool. Like, Clair Obscur is such a fucking cool name for a place. No one's allowed to touch the first stage, unfortunately. Is that like a rights thing? Okay. Welcome in, Robert Rick. Thank you so much for enjoying the E33 content. Appreciate that. Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch. His mocap for Smaug. It's legendary. It's so good. Alright. Alright, chat. Alright. Are you ready? We're gonna do it. We're gonna start the watch party section of the stream. Now, we're not gonna start with E33's Skillup documentary, because that's like 1.5 hours long. It's gonna take a while. But I got something really funny. I have one of the stupidest things that ever happened in the history of Final Fantasy to show you in a documentary. I'll tell you what. Let's, and And has an ad already played? I kind of want to get myself ready for this. I forget if an ad's played or not. Not that J-worthy. Much funnier. So, I'm not sure, Smelly, how time works, but in that game, but yeah. Alright, I'm not fucking about. Let's do this. If an ad comes up in the middle of this, I'll just pause it so no one misses anything. Let's go. I'm going to refresh this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest documentary about Final Fantasy that has ever been made. It's about the guy who got Cloud and Barrett to level 99 in the first Maker reactor. This is real. This is the greatest FF7 story. This is the greatest FF7 story I've ever seen.
You may have heard of this story before. There were articles written about it by a bunch of different websites, including Kotaku and The New Yorker. A man reaches level 99 in the very first area of Final Fantasy VII by grinding for hundreds of hours. But why? For what purpose? What could drive a man to do such a thing? Well, I actually had the privilege of watching this saga unfold, and the scant few paragraphs these articles contain don't really do it justice, so I'm going to relay to you my first-hand account of what really happened. This story begins on a private GameFAQs spin-off forum. The name's not important, let's just call it Blue Links. I should probably mention that as a mutant offspring of GameFAQs, there's still a lot of leftover Web 1.0 DNA in the site's design.
Oh, good old game FAQs. Remember, games like FF9 came out 5 years before YouTube was even invented. So when you got lost, which you would, because we were terrible at games and there were no quest markers or anything like that, you had to go to game FAQs and they would tell you in ASCII text what to do next. This website has saved me so many times. It's saved me through Legend of Dragoon. And if you're one of the people who wrote that guide, thank you. You are an unsung hero of the internet.
Resulting in some irregularities compared to quote-unquote normal forums, like they call threads topics and avatars are aligned to the right side of the post. Just addressing that now so there won't be any confusion later on. It all started on September 18th, 2012. A user going by the name Dicktree posted a thread with the title, "In this topic I get Cloud and Barrett to level 99 in the first reactor in Final Fantasy VII. It was a bold claim, and attracted a fair amount of attention. Many users expressed skepticism he'd be able to complete such a Herculean task. You see, in this part of the game the party receives roughly 80 experience points per battle, and the total amount of experience needed for Cloud to reach level 99 is 2,452,783. Even with characters strong enough to kill the enemy in one hit, each battle still takes between 30 to 60 seconds each, so doing some calculations we can estimate that reaching level 99 will take a very fucking long time. Obviously you don't have to give the game your full attention.
That's putting it lightly, mate. That is inhuman. That is such an obscene number. It's unthinkable. I'll say, Molson Faust, thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. My God.
You can watch TV or listen to a podcast or something to make the grind a bit more bearable, but it does require some degree of attentiveness and input. If you fall asleep during a battle or do something stupid like accidentally target one of your player characters with an attack, you can lose hours of progress. This wasn't the first time people had seen a challenge like this. Several people in the thread were familiar with the level 100 on Destiny Islands challenge in Kingdom Hearts. Indeed, other people have actually completed this very challenge before, including someone on the Final Fantasy VII board on GameFAQs, proving it was possible. It just takes an insane amount of grinding. Many references were made to the infamous grindmaster Elalilio while people tried to figure out exactly how long it would take. References were made to the infamous grindmaster.
My God, look at those eyes. This is what grinding does to a man. Respect, though. Respect.
Elalilio while people tried to figure out exactly how long it would take, but Dicktree was completely confident in his ability to finish the challenge, even offering to bet his account that he'd be able to complete it. He even claimed that he'd done it before. The early days of the thread were quite productive.
Sure,
Dicktree was
man.
making rapid progress through the early levels, as to be expected. Updates were frequent, and although some were skeptical or mocked his efforts as pointless, a large portion of the comments were supportive and cheering him on. 2 days after he starts, both characters...
I mean that's the internet at the end of the day. There's always going to be a few people. It's like, you're terrible and you're an awful person, but most people are fine. I mean, the idea is so insane. But if I was there, you know, alive at this time, well, I mean, I was alive at this time. If I was there witnessing, I'd be like, fucking do it. This is amazing. Who would even think of doing this?
Characters are at level 30.
Oh my god.
4 days after that, they reach level 40. Things start to slow down a bit as he doesn't have quite as much time to grind. But a couple of weeks later, he posts that Cloud is at level 46. Then,
getting Cloud and Barrett to level 46 alone is an inhuman achievement. That is just unreal. Ballast, you bought FF7 Rebirth, but sorry, this game is absolute shit in your opinion. Should they go back to turn-based combat? The thing is, Ballast, turn-based won't save Rebirth. They just gotta unfuck the story, which they never will. So it's done. It's finished. Anyway, enough fucking about. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the real FF7. This.
2.5 months go by with no word from Dick Tree, before he suddenly shows up again claiming he no longer has his PS1, but he will be getting it back in a week. No explanation as to why he doesn't have it, but he does promise that he will return to grinding as soon as he gets it back on the 7th of January. It was around this time the thread took a noticeable turn, with Dick Tree becoming more and more antagonistic towards the readers. He threatens to complete the challenge, yet withhold evidence of it, then recants saying he was just joking. On the 9th of January, he says he'll be starting up the grind again later that night or the next day. 2 months go by without any further updates, until suddenly he posts this picture without any words. He eventually posts a screenshot showing he's reached level 50. He laughs at all the impatient nerds who've been following the thread, and boldly proclaims his next update will be a screenshot showing both characters at level 60.
50 is insane.
After 7 months of silence, we get the message.
When I streamed Final Fantasy VII in 2022, I think all my characters were around level 40-something. When I fought Sephiroth. Oh god. How did he get them to 50? How did he get them to 50 in the first Mega Reactor? Oh my god, bro. That's unbelievable.
No more levels to grind, without any further elaboration. A month after that, he posts, maybe I'll start over, and then a picture of a new setup. After a long period of dormancy, some people were starting to show interest in the thread again. 4.5 months later, we get the next actual update. Just a picture of him grinding in the reactor, and soon after that, proof that Cloud was level 52. People were a little skeptical that Dick Tree was going to stick around long enough to finish, and Dick Tree himself even admits due to his schedule he won't be able to grind at the same rate he was going at before, but he was confident that during the summer he'd have the free time needed to complete the challenge. For the next couple of weeks, progress was slow but steady and updates were fairly frequent. On April 17th, 2014, he posted this photograph showing he was up to level 55.
Unbelievable.
He also stuck around to talk to people to discuss his plans. He asked for help to figure out approximately how many hours were left, how much time per week he should dedicate to grinding, and what he plans to do to kill time while grinding. The next day he made the following post. Told my girlfriend this morning that I can't go to her family's Easter celebration thing out of town. I took that day off of work and I plan on grinding at least 10 hours.
That is the best excuse I've ever seen to get out of a family Easter celebration. that is... This guy's a hero to all men out there who wanted to get out of their girlfriend's family arrangements. Oh my god. I imagine, oh god. It just boggles the mind. That's incredible. I'm going to use that. Oh, Jesus.
9 months pass by without any posts from Dick Tree. People occasionally bump the thread, some keeping it alive on the hope he'll return, others just to curse him for failing to complete his sacred oath. On January 14th, 2015, Allelelia happened to be doing some grinding in FF7 in Junon, and someone decided to post about it as it was semi-relevant news. The next day, Dick Tree posts making a glib joke about how he's secretly Allelelia. Needless to say, people were not thrilled. The thread lit up with activity again for a short while. Most of it posts telling Dick Tree to go again for a short while. People were not thrilled.
Oh my god. Jesus. I think... Anyway, let's keep going.
The thread lit up with activity again for a short while. Most of it posts telling Dick Tree to go fuck himself one way or another. Just 2 days later, one of these posts was by a man who goes by the username Circle Master. A man who was simply too cool to use an avatar. And this fateful post read, "Fuck Dick Tree. I should do this. I watched hundreds of episodes of The Simpsons and played hundreds of Super Nintendo ROMs. I could knock this out."
A hero steps up to the challenge.
And 2 days after that, he posted this image along with the message, "Get fucked, Dick Tree."
Oh yeah, he just called.
Why is the image so big?
Just name them
You see, that's just one of the many differences between Circle Master and Dick Tree. The man was confident enough to provide the image of the maximum resolution possible. I'm talking about the raw data straight from the camera. None of this pussy-ass reducing the image for the convenience of the readers bullshit. You're gonna take that horizontal scroll bar and you're gonna like it. If you want to resize the image, you can do it yourself. Anyways, the very next day he posted another picture, showing that he's already
This is just one of the top 10 anime battles of all time. This is just incredible. You cried twice playing E33, not even at the end of Act 2. Welcome in, short person. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Fairuz, welcome in. This is hardcore gamer trolling. This is amazing. Dude, Peanut, how good is the old internet? Mighty Beats, what am I watching? For anyone who's just hopped into the stream, also sorry I'm not as responsive to chat right now. For anyone who's just joined the stream, this is a documentary about the guy who got Cloud and Barrett to level 99 in the first reactor of FF7. This is real.
Reached level 20. The day after that, he's at 25. The next day he's at 30. Then 33, then 35.
The man's a machine!
4 days and he's at level 38. He was making rapid progress, grinding for hours every single day. By the end of the month, he'd reached level 41. Obviously, he couldn't keep this pace up forever, so things slowed down a little bit, but he's still making regular updates and leveling every few days. By February 5th, he was already at level 43. That's when Dicktree decided to stop by and leave a post. This challenger is interesting. Dicktree decided to stop by and leave a
This is such classic internet. This challenger is interesting. Fuck you! That's your first response. The first reaction in all caps. Oh my god, man. There's an old saying I heard, which is like, you know, the uses of the internet, the uses of the internet are debatable, but its comedic values are off the charts.
Post. This challenger is interesting. Soon after, he posted this picture of his TV showing off the grind spot in the reactor and proceeds to make several posts asking how he can stream off his PS1. He says that if someone buys him a capture card, he'll finish the challenge. The next day, Circle Master posts another update. He's at level 44. People are suggesting the idea of a Twitch channel, and he seems open to it. He also makes the following remarks.
Whoa, wait. Let's see that. Get ready for my Twitch channel FF99, where I level 99 in every FF game at the earliest opportunity. Oh my god. You know what the crazy thing is? I've actually been in Circle Master's stream live. This is like years and years ago, maybe like 2020, I think. And he was getting Zidane to level 99. In the first forest where you can do that, and I hopped in. I was just like, mate, saw the docu about you. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in FF. Mad respect, man. Greatest doc I've ever. Nice guy, man. It was awesome. Actually, let me give him a shout out while we're here. Let's see. I think this is spelling it right. I think that could be him. Sorry, I forget the exact spelling, but you know what I mean. Whoa, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that. Level 99 Gustave for the first area. Jesus. Alright, let's keep going.
He also makes the following remarks. Dicktree should have stayed out of this topic, because he cannot win. Either I get to level 99 first and beat him in his own topic, or I successfully goad him into finishing despite his trolling. For the record, either way, I'm staying the course and reaching level 99. Can't say it was for sure because of this post, but Dicktree wouldn't post again the thread for another 5 months. By the 25th, Circle Master was at level 48. There was a mild panic when he didn't update the thread for about a week and a half. People there were prone to abandonment issues, as you might be able to imagine, but he came back and reassured people he was just busy with real life stuff. By March 11th, the characters were at level 50.
The milestone.
Wow, level 50. That means he's like halfway there, right? Wrong. That is not how levels work in JRPGs. Let's look at the amount of experience needed to reach level 55, the highest confirmed level we ever saw from Dicktree. Cloud needs 399,245 experience to reach level 55. As we stated earlier, to reach level 99 you need 2,452,783. So this motherfucker only got 16% of the way there. A common meme people would post in the thread of these stairs used to visualize how much more XP was really needed to finish the challenge. And this is where things started to slow down a little bit.
It's even worse with Pokemon Go, which I was playing like back in 2016, and the max level was like 40 at the time. I got all the way to 20, and then I did the math and realized getting to level 20 is 1% of the experience you need to get to level 40. I was like, fuck this, I'm never playing this again.
Both due to Circle Master becoming increasingly busy with real life and just the fact that it takes an extremely long amount of time between levels at this point.
Yeah, staggering.
The next update was on the 27th, where he had reached level 52. This is also where the time counter maxed out, so we don't know exactly how long it's taking in between each level.
That kind of adds a mythical quality to this, doesn't it, though? That we actually cannot know how long this truly took. Like, like Sakaguchi and the boys really didn't think that anyone would do something so completely insane as play this game for like thousands of hours to do this. But that's amazing. I love that. It adds a sort of, you know, legendary mythos to it. Colin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hadling level. Oh yeah, well with Pokemon Go, like you don't level up by fighting Pokemon. You level up by fusing Pokemon of the same type together. Oh, it's awful. Anyway, you only level 33 Autocon. That's horrendous. Yeah. See, that's how good Final Fantasy VII was, guys. Like, it made us do this. Anyway, let's continue.
Well, you can sort of go off the guild counter for a rough idea. A month later, on April 29th, he's at level 57. During a day off in May, he grinds all the way up to 58. And around this time, he's pretty busy with work stuff, but he does do a good stretch of grinding in June, going from level 61 on the 5th to level 65 on the 13th. He mentions that it's nearly 9...
In my first ever playthrough of Final Fantasy VII, when I was like, you know, my first one ever, when I'm just bad at the game and I don't even know how to run from battle, so I do every encounter, I was 65 when I went to fight Sephiroth. Cloud only was 65. Everyone else was lower. This is inhuman, what this guy has done. That's amazing.
13th. He mentions that it's nearly 9 hours of grinding per level at this point. It was in this post where he begins to seriously consider the idea of starting a grinding stream, and soon after he actually does decide to go through with it and begins streaming occasionally at twitch.tv/circlemaster. He also finally decides that he's going to start his own thread, rather than continuing the challenge in Dicktree's old thread. You see, on this message board, threads have a post limit of 5,000, after which they automatically lock. Having a thread you made hit 5,000 posts was considered somewhat desirable. It's something of a status symbol. I mean, you know how forum culture is. So this is basically just a way to stick it to Dicktree and deny him his 5,000 post thread. So
that is so petty, but it's also so funny, man. Oh, this is the best thing since the 300 Spartans versus 1,000,000 Persians. This is just amazing.
Everyone moved over to Circlemaster's new identically titled thread, and business continued on as usual. By the end of July, he was at level 68, and by mid-September, he was up to 71.
Oh my god.
He would frequently try out streaming during this time period. He often only had time to grind once a week or a couple of weeks, but when he had a grinding session, he went hard, many hours at a time. In October, he had a grind session that lasted 23 hours straight, and he was able to reach level 73.
That is, oh my god, that's so brutal, man. This guy's a machine. Bodrick, you were on the forum for this. That's respect, man. You witnessed greatness in the making. Holy shit. Oh god, friendly. See, this is just not the kind of streamer I am at all. I could never do this. Holy shit. Alright, enough fucking about. Let's keep going.
And then, just a few days later, he did it again. The absolute fucking madman, getting all the way up to level 76. That might seem insane, because, you know, it is. But as he explained, it's hard to see tangible, visible progress without dedicating an extended period of time to grinding. At over 12 hours per level, if he does just an hour a day, that's almost 2 weeks between levels. The grind continues slowly but surely over the following months. He reaches level 79 by November 10th, and he continues to post progress reports in December, January, and March. By June 16th, he's all the way up to level 88. Unfortunately, around this time is when Circlemaster begins having some medical issues. His arm was injured, so he was forced to do the grinding one-handed for a prolonged period of time.
Fuck.
So while progress was slowed significantly due to this injury, Circlemaster always kept the thread informed of what was going on. It was also around this time when...
let's see what that says there. Yeah, no, alright, cool.
Kept the thread informed of what was going on. It was also around this time when Dicktree decided to show up in the thread and had an embarrassing meltdown.
You're probably a liberal. Oh god, I think good old days. All right. Well, actually, no. It kind of shows that some things never change. All right, let's keep going.
where he mocked Circle Master's sick grandmother, pretended he already completed the challenge, and accused people who insulted him of being liberals. He claims that he's already completed the challenge and offers to sell his memory card as proof. Then he claims he already did it and posted evidence to 4chan and Reddit years ago because people in his thread weren't being nice enough. Guys, I don't use the term meltdown lightly. This was a fucking embarrassment. I mean, this was truly a self-humiliation for the ages. Nevertheless, by September 1st, Circle Master had reached
and it's crazy. This was like... Was this before YouTube? I forget. When was this? What year was this again? Because the fact that it's all just like text and pictures and stuff. Blizzaga, thank you for the follow. It was 2016. Okay. Fuck. All right. Let's keep going. No, wait. 2007 to 8. It's... No, actually, YouTube started in 2005. This is 2015-16. Okay, all right, fair enough.
89.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm an idiot. Because Twitch exists, so naturally.
Really a self-humiliation for the ages. Nevertheless, by September 1st, Circle Master had reached level 89, just 10 levels away from his goal. Unfortunately, his arm and shoulder problems persisted, so he continued the grind one-handed while trying to deal with chronic pain and limited mobility, as well as dealing with a bureaucratic nightmare of trying to get on workers' comp. By the end of the month, he was at level 90.
I feel like if you were doing this, this would be what your dreams look like.
As well as dealing with a bureaucratic...
You would actually dream of this visual of Cloud just running back and forth. For like, it just etched into your brain after 12 hours of this for like
nightmare trying to get on workers' comp. By the end of the month, he was at level 90. And by the end of October, he was at 92. Progress slowed down a bit again, taking until January.
90 is the highest level I've ever gotten to in FF7. On my second playthrough, I just knew what to do, kicked the shit out of everything. But yeah, the fact he's level 90 here, oh my god.
He was at 92.
Amazing.
Progress slowed down a bit again, taking until January 3rd, 2017 to reach level 93. By February 6th, he's at level 94 and is still trying to schedule his shoulder surgery. 20 days later, and he's up to level 96, and it feels like the end is finally in sight.
God.
On March 10th, he posts an update showing he's at level 97, and soon after, he finally has his surgery and takes some time off to recover. But by March 31st, he had arrived at level 98, the penultimate level. Needless to say, people in the thread were getting hyped. He began streaming more regularly the closer he got to level 99, as people became more interested in tuning in. Then, on April 7th, 2017, finally happened. Circle Master started what would be his final grinding session in Final Fantasy VII and started streaming it. Normally only a handful of people would tune in, but this time dozens and dozens of people were watching live. Nearly half a decade after Dick Tree's original thread, and the promise was about to be fulfilled before our very eyes. And I was one of those people watching. In fact, Circle Master saw me in chat and was even enough of a lad to give me a shout out.
5 years, oh my god.
Yeah, Cybershell has done some good stuff. Just for reference, you should check out his YouTube channel, etc., etc.
Circle Master's enthusiastic endorsement. I'll tell you what, mate. I'll tell you what. If I'd gotten Cloud and Barrett to like level 98 by that point, that's how I would sound as well. I'm not judging at all. But I'll tell you what. I may as well contribute. Here's my enthusiastic endorsement of Cybershell as well. Here is the link to his video in my chat. I'm spamming it a couple of times. Absolutely sub to the guy. He's made, in my opinion, the greatest documentary about Final Fantasy that has ever been made. And ever will be made. Nothing will ever top this. Let's continue.
After waiting for so long, the blessed moment had finally arrived. And it was more glorious than I could have possibly imagined.
Because this isn't just about me, this is about everybody who followed Dick Tree and were let down by him. This last fight is for all of us. I know I wouldn't be here without your support. I truly appreciate every positive message I've gotten. This is for all of us, and if I had to do it all over again, if something were to happen, and I had to do this over again, I would. I would do it in a heartbeat. I would start right... No, I couldn't start right now because of my shoulder. I would start again tomorrow.
He's a madman! A madman! Oh my god, I couldn't have that same level of commitment.
But here we go. I'm gonna hit the circle button. And we're gonna get that glorious half a second where it says level up. I want us all to savor that moment. I want us to savor that level up. Because it's the last one. The last one we will ever see.
Oh my god.
So brace yourselves, I'm gonna hit it. And there it is. And it's gone.
Oh my god.
In this Twitch, I have gotten Cloud and Barrett to level 99 in the first reactor in Final Fantasy VII.
07's in chat.
Just listen to the man's wild, uncontrollable pop-off. All in all, he estimates it took him about 525 hours to complete. And that's pretty much the end of the...
Oh, God. 525 hours. Oh, my God. That's so brutal, man. Drunken Tanuki. Great, now he can play the game. He's just going to steamroll everything now. I mean, he's going to one-shot everything with Cloud and Barrett. It's not even going to be a fight. Although that would be, I mean, you know, amazing performance. All right, let's keep going.
Story. Tons of people stopped by to congratulate him, and his accomplishment even attracted the attention of the internet at large. And to this day, he's still at it, just for the love of the grind, working on getting Zidane to level 99 in the Evil Forest in Final Fantasy IX. He continues to stream occasionally and post LP videos to his...
I wonder if I caught him during that grind. Because he's 51 there, and you guys were saying this was like, what, 2016 or something, or whatever. Because I did hop into his stream afterwards. I just don't remember what level Zidane was. But, I mean, actual internet legend. Like, who the fuck does this?
He continues to stream occasionally and post LP videos to his YouTube channel. I'll have a link to all his stuff in the description. Funny enough, after all this time, Dick Tree's original thread was still active. A few bumps a year was enough to prevent it from becoming archived. And in it, someone asked him if he had any thoughts about Circle Master completing the feat he originally set out to do. All he had to say was, "You did a good job, but I did it first." Guys, I don't think I can properly explain to you the degree this man was completely and utterly blown the fuck out in every conceivable way possible. I mean, if you think Dick Tree can even post anymore without people going, "Hey, aren't you that guy who couldn't even get Cloud and Barrett to level 99 in the first reactor? What a loser." His posting career is in ruins, and I think it's safe to say he will never, ever recover from a public humiliation of this magnitude.
God.
It should be mentioned that this topic did eventually archive soon afterwards, without ever hitting 5,000 posts, whereas Circle Master was able to get 2 5,000 post threads out of the ordeal.
Respect.
Nowadays, people throw around the word hero to the point where it feels like it's lost all meaning. A man rushes into a burning building to save some dumb kids and suddenly he's a hero? Please stop devaluing this word and save it for only truly heroic acts of courage. I can honestly say without a doubt in my mind that Circle Master has entered the pantheon of American heroes. I prepared a musical tribute to end this video, but I feel like the best way to close it out is with a quote from Circle Master himself.
Such a hilariously outrageous statement. That's so dry. That's so good.
This is from January 28th, 2015, just 11 days after starting his grind. Life does not have inherent meaning. To say that our lives are pointless and our achievements meaningless is to state the obvious. No matter how grand our achievements or how broad their scope, time turns all to dust and death destroys all memory. But that does not mean we cannot ascribe our own meaning to what we do. It's because nothing has meaning unto itself that we are free to create meaning, to make metaphor, and in doing so to reflect on ourselves and our world. Leveling to 99 in the first reactor is pointless and meaningless, so why do I do it? I do it to express my hatred. More importantly, my disdain for Dick Tree. I do it to express the camaraderie I feel for those of us who have followed this topic for years, only to be disappointed by him. I do it to prove to myself that I can persevere. The act is meaningless. I give it meaning.
What's incredible about this is that if you just changed a few words of it and told someone that this was a quote by Plato or Nietzsche, they'd probably believe it. But instead it's a quote about getting Cloud and Barrett to level 99 just to spite someone else on the internet. Oh my god, what an absolute legend. This is just poetry in moment. It's just poetry in motion. This is something Socrates would do if he was alive today.
I give it meaning.
Enough said.
That was the greatest Final Fantasy documentary in the history of the universe. Everyone, chuck a follow to Cybershell. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to spam the link in chat a few times. That deserves a like. That has like 2.5 million views. I still don't think it has enough. I think everyone in the Final Fantasy world needs to have seen this. It's just so good. That was the Final Fantasy. Oh my god. That was so good, man. Just what a story, Mark. So, Kroggy, early 2000s, so good. Probably the best use of the song Hero by Nickelback I've ever heard in my entire life. So, you know what's funny? Is I watched this maybe in like 2020. Also, Halgo, thank you for that follow. And I left a comment on this. And I think it got a few likes. Let's see what I got here. There we go. 2,300 likes. This is simultaneously the most pointless and the most riveting documentary I've ever seen. You know what? I think that guy's pretty cool. I think you should chuck this guy a follow on YouTube as well. Because I think I saw this on release. Maybe that's why the comment did well. But I remember thinking that was just the most... I was blown away by this. I was dying laughing. I sent this to all my friends. I'm like, you have to see this. It's so good. So, and you know what? As a YouTuber myself, why not make some lazy React content out of this? Let's see. There we go. Fuck. Alright. How long have I been streaming for? Only 4 hours. 4 hours, 20 minutes. Perfect. Alright. Now I can, yeah, that guy sounds full of himself. Hey, get out of here. Okay, I'm working here. You tried this before abandoning it. You got them to level 30s and 40s before you left Midgar. Disc 1, you finished Disc 1 at 70 something. I don't know, mate. This guy got him to level 99 in the first reactor. I think you've been crushed. I think you've been shown up. I think you've been blown the fuck out. Mudpug, the pointlessness is what makes it so fascinating. It's a thing... Anyone can technically do this, and yet only one person in the world has. Because it's so completely insane. It's amazing. It's just, it's riveting. It's like the best thing to watch. Have I seen the documentary about the FF7 house? I haven't, but I heard that's really weird. I heard that's really strange. I don't know anything about it, though. Yeah. Alright, enough fucking about. Chat, I've got to take a fucking piss. So I'm gonna do that. And while I take a piss, let's do... what music video can we do? Let's do my music video about World of Warcraft. This is a song I wrote about ninjaing people's bis, and which I haven't done, but I figured it deserved a music video of its own. Enjoy, and I'll be right back. I got another confession. Thank you for enjoying the best my music video about World of Warcraft. If you want the link to it, here's the link in chat right there. And yes, I have a separate music video channel. It's got nothing to do with like the gaming content or the Twitch streams and all that. It is Sebbywebz Music, and it has a whopping 1,400 subs. YouTube, thank you for pushing that to 11,000 people. Never let it be said that YouTube doesn't push quality content. So, you would say it was the best. Oh my god, dog. What time is it over there? About 2:30 p.m. Now, I appreciate that, Cross. Alright. And I appreciate that, Hobgoblin, about, you know, it feels good to have gained a bit of traction on YouTube, you know, in my specific niche and all that. But also, quite a few of the things I've done have grown quite well that have nothing to do with E33 or Final Fantasy. Like the World of Warcraft, the Warcraft Orcs versus Warhammer Orcs thing, that's got like nearly 2 million views. The ones about writing and acting, those can do really well as well. Stuff that's got nothing to do with it at all. So, Clock Tree, what's going on? Tavalnor, thank you for the Ultra Cat Jams. Mudpug, thank you for the clappies. Alright. Enough fucking about. This is the only quality content YouTube push. Well, I figured for some reason I do okay at shorts. Horizontals haven't really figured it out. Yeah, but you know, it is what it is. YouTube, you can learn it, but you gotta learn it. And it's fucked. As Clive would say, it's fucked. You hate grinding, Draven? Yeah, grinding was a fun thing when you were a kid, and you're used to getting destroyed by old hard games, and then grinding invents a way for you to beat the game without having to get mechanically good. So it was fun at the time. But you know, different time period now. Appreciate it, Rainstorm. Do a cover of Your Idol to Ride That High. Your Idol, I don't know that. So, oh no, the YouTube channel's not. I'm sorry, the music video channel's not doing that great. But you know, I also haven't made anything for a million years on that. I've been focusing too much on the other stuff. Hang on, I'm gonna cough. All right. Right. What to do next? We've done this. I'm trying to think what I want to do next. Both docos are about 1.5 hours long, and I don't know if I'll have time to fully react to both of them. One of them is the Skillup documentary about Expedition 33's entire story. The other is the Mindscape of Alan Moore. Alan Moore is the guy who wrote Watchmen, V for Vendetta, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The Killing Joke, which is the Joker's origin story, and he's one of my biggest influences in writing and storytelling. And the reason I'd wanted to show his doco is because if you ever want to know, like, I've been asked before about, like, how I look at all this stuff or how I look at storytelling and break it down. And a lot of it comes from Alan Moore. So I figured, why not? Why not show you the tool set? Why not show you the toolkit that I know? But also, it's not boring shit. The guy's absolutely fascinating. That documentary will blow your mind open and you will never be the same person again after that. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. We got this one, and we got that one. Pulling out gas so far. I'm gonna go with my gut instinct.
Fashionable enemies. Enemies are less about their physical structure and more about the costumes they wear over that structure. It's one of the things that gives Expedition 33's art design such distinctiveness. So how did Guillaume find Nicholas and how did they get connected? Well,
yeah, that's pretty much what all our first attempts at parrying look like.